All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today? Oh, can I hear you, Peter? It looks like you're on mute.
I'm on mute.
There you go.
I hit the button. Hopefully, yeah, that's all me. I've got new tech going this morning, so hopefully we'll be good. We replaced the cables for my microphone. I replaced the camera with a new 4K camera. We'll see if it ends up a little sharper than it has been. So,
yeah, definitely looks sharper, no question. I can tell here.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. Coming into the vMix stream looks much better, nice and clear. So hopefully you guys can see that as well on your end. All right, friends.
Are we live? Yeah. It doesn't look like we're live yet.
I show it live. I can go check. Yeah, it's live. I see my stream. I see myself moving on YouTube, and I see myself moving on X as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a second. Do you have an FOMC one? That's why I was looking at the wrong. It says that's live in 5 hours. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, live in 5 hours. Yes, which, by the way, we will be live in 5 hours going for the FOMC minutes release, and then we'll look at the broadcast from Jerome Powell, which is the second to last Fed decision. So that should be very, very interesting. I don't think we're going to expect any fireworks, but it's always interesting when something is coming to an end, right? So
yeah.
You keep up, Peter?
I keep getting these ads. I just dialed into YouTube, and I keep getting served with these ads. It's this Hua submarine. Do you know that Canada's buying some submarines from South Korea? I had no idea. Anyways, until I keep getting these ads, apparently the government wants everybody to know they're buying submarines from South Korea.
Okay, like expedition or war submarines? Like what are we doing?
They're supposed to be like, I don't know. They're just reconnaissance submarines. They're not intended to like shoot anything, as far as I know. I don't know why we need reconnaissance submarines, but I guess when you're in the far north under the ice sheet, that's what you need. So
could be some good exploring in there. You never know.
All right, friends. Every time.
Yeah.
Submarines.
Your government wants you to know,
Mansbridge.
Peter. They want you to know what's happening. Yeah. They want you to be, full front and center. They probably know that you run the pre-market show, and they want you to kind of comment to here and let other Canadians know if they don't know.
Maybe.
And now, if you don't know,
maybe.
you know. So
there you go. Well,
there it is.
Mission accomplished. Then I guess they made me do it. So
well
all right. Here we go. Yeah, we got some interesting stuff to talk about. Like you said, the Fed rate announcement, that's the big one coming up this afternoon. But, we'll talk about that more in a second. So.
Yeah, we sure will, friends. A quick look at our gap list before we get rocking and rolling this morning. We got a couple of things to the left and the right of this list here. And you can see here up 30%, some good green stuff happening there and some stuff in the red. So let's see a lot of nice earnings coming in today and also after hours. And AI continues to be one of the biggest stories out here, alongside with the war, of course, in Iran and oil and all that good stuff. But AI is it seems like it's a lot more active the last 2 weeks, maybe less. Like the last week, Peter, it's just a lot of AI stories. NVDA, MU earnings tonight, Meta, MBIS, it's just, you name it, is out there. So that's clearly having an effect on some of the tickers we're going to be talking about today. Even Baba is getting in the line of the AI world here with some stories of their own. So a lot going on. But before we do that, Peter, let's go to our U.S. economic calendar and see what we have going on for today.
Well, yeah, like we were saying, there's a couple of key things happening today. At 8:30, you can see we got the PPI numbers. This is the producer price index that's coming out. We'll in about half an hour here. We'll let you know about that. The next big thing, crude oil inventories, interesting only because people are focusing on oil these days, unlikely to move the market. The FOMC, today is FOMC day. Every time we have these days, it's about two times, 2 o'clock and 2:30, right? 2 o'clock is when we get the interest rate that is coming out, and it's supposed to come out. The expectation largely is that it's going to be unchanged. If we look at the sentiment, I think it's sitting at about 98.9% right now. If you got that there, Carlos, that there's going to be no change, with 1.1% saying that they are expecting a change. Now, that's a little bit different. It was like 99.9% just yesterday, but it looks like there's been a 1% shift, but that doesn't mean much, meaning a 1% shift that the rates might increase. I mean, we are seeing inflationary pressures. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. If the Fed at this point, if the Fed does anything other than leave the rate unchanged, we're going to see some huge movement in the market. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Fed is going to stay the course. They're going to leave the rates exactly where they are and not make a change. But we'll find out. So what happens is the rate gets released at 2 p.m., right? And then all the algos are going to react. Then what happens is the press conference starts at 2:30, and Powell's going to give his fixed comments, and then you get the Q&A. And it's usually the Q&A that's most interesting to the market and that causes movements. So you could expect it to be around 2:45 or so when we may get another reaction, depending on what he says in answer to some of the questions and what those questions are. So I think this afternoon, that just makes it a little more interesting in the afternoon. And we're going to see what happens when the time comes. So back to the economic calendar. I said the big numbers really are happening this afternoon with the FOMC rate release. There's really not much other worth talking about other than that. So later tonight we do have that's really about it. So we'll see. I'll let you know about the PPI numbers as said in 21 minutes or so from now. Other than that, FOMC this afternoon. As Carlos said, though, there's a lot of earnings out there. The earnings are bringing things to the forefront. Not only do we have stocks that are moving, but we've got I was going to say a very robust earnings calendar, but I don't know if I'd go that far. It's okay. On the earnings calendar, we've highlighted a couple of things that we're going to take a look at this morning. Again, if you've got that earnings calendar there, Carlos.
Oh, I forgot the earnings calendar. Where's that one? Yep, I forgot to upload that one. But I'll pull it up here on RyanTradingTerminal.com, friends. So you can find all of these tools. So I'll go to that one.
All right. So, yeah, it's there's a couple of key things. Last night we had earnings from Oklo, Lululemon, and DocU. That's one of the ones we look at. And then this morning, really, Macy's, I think, is a key one that we're going to be, we'll take a look at least we'll talk about. And then probably the biggest of the week is coming after the close today, which is Micron. Micron is the big one that's, General Mills this morning too. We'll talk about earnings on that just briefly. But Micron's the big one after the close. And like Carlos was saying, everybody's watching AI these days, and there's pretty big expectations on Micron, right? The expectations are pretty high that they're going to have a good quarter. So I don't know. That makes it a little tough for them to beat expectations. Remember what happened with NVIDIA when they released their number? When NVIDIA released their number, right, their stock drops last, 7 quarters in a row. And I haven't done we'll do that this morning. We'll take a look at the research on Micron and see what they typically do when earnings are released. But, it gets hard, right? When you have expectations so high, that sort of expectation gets built into the price already. And when the earnings come out, no matter how good they are, you only have one option. You're disappointed. So we'll have to see what happens when the earnings actually come out, and that'll be in I think it's after the close at I didn't even look it up. It's probably right after the close. It's going to be at 4:10, something 4:05, something like that. We'll look it up a little later. Yep. It's at 4 o'clock sharp.
All right, and that. Awesome.
So if you want to trade after earnings, this might be a good one because you shouldn't have to wait long. So, all right. So there you go. We'll get to some of those as they hit the gappers list. If they don't, we'll pick them up.
Yep, absolutely, friends. All right, quick look at our gappers list this morning. We have plenty of stuff in the green and the red. Let's dive into some of the stuff that's high flying. Look at this ARTL up 56%. Let's take a look under the hood and see what is driving this. So ARTL this morning, let's pop it up over here. See, look at the pre-market action today, going from, what's this, $4? Yeah, $4.60 up to as high as $8.20, and now pulling back a little bit, but still trying to climb. Look at the volume coming in. Looks pretty active today so far. So looking good, Peter. This thing is high flying. What is the latest and greatest on Artello Biosciences?
Artello Biosciences. Yeah. They're starting a new clinical trial for glaucoma and ocular hypertension. This ART 27.13 trial, I guess, is starting. They're looking to enroll people in it for a live human trial, and this is a big one, right? Because this is they're spending $16.3 billion on this trial, and it's fully funded. So the announcement this morning was just that they have all the funding needed to run this trial. They've raised the $16.3 billion it's going to cost. Man, human drug trials are expensive. Anyways, 16.3 billion. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Is that right? That can't be right. They can't be spending that much.
It's quite a bit. Typo, maybe they wrote it with ChatGPT and they forgot to. You could tell when somebody.
No.
I can always tell when somebody writes a ChatGPT message. If they have a dash in any message that I see, that is written with ChatGPT, because we don't write with these dashes. So every time I look at any post, anything, you put a dash in there, you use ChatGPT. so clear, man. It's funny.
But
yeah, was it a typo or?
That number's. The number's right. I applied it wrong. When you're trying to read these headlines, sometimes I read it wrong. No,
understood.
The addressable market, meaning there's a $16.3 billion market for this drug. The trial is fully funded, but the trial is expected to cost somewhere around $150 million. That seems more reasonable. So, all right. So there you go. So they're investing, looking for sort of a 100 to 1 return on their investment. So there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyways, ARTL, biotech. We don't normally trade them. It's okay, but I don't love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put in the secondary, not secondary, on the popcorn list, because I think it's worth looking at, given how this thing is moving. Again, it's exciting. This is up 50% now. 10 million shares traded, hard to borrow. Let me remind you guys, it is a low flow, sitting at 2.1 million shares flow, so very low this morning. Be extra cautious with that, but clearly in play. Will be fun to keep on our popcorn list. I'm going to add it right now here. ARTL is the ticker name. All right, continuing, friends, back to our gappers list by tradingterminal.com. I'm going to start using dashes everywhere now. So text you guys is a KC. Let's look at KC this morning. Using dash on everything, because ChatGPT loves the dash. I don't know what it is about the dash.
What's with the dash?
ChatGPT, man, anything you ask them to do, to rewrite, rephrase, they use this dash on everything, right? So any post you see that middle dash, they use ChatGPT. I don't know anybody that uses that when they talk or when they communicate normally. So very interesting. Or emails too. You see it a lot on emails. So I know people are responding with their AI bot, which, by the way, OpenClaw, man, it's getting a lot of attention. We'll talk a little bit about that as well with NVIDIA and AMU later. But man, China is like jumping on as well with the OpenClaw stuff. But let's go to KC here. Let's keep on track.
About that last week, right?
Now China. Yeah, now China is like getting involved. Like they're releasing their own version that connects to OpenClaw. Like it's all hands down on AI and all this stuff. So it's happening. Frank agrees. There it is. Bunch of dashes in the way. All right, KC, friends. KC is up 16%. As look at our ARTL continues to climb now, up 61%. And it's crazy. KC here up 16%. 777,000 shares traded. Not a low flow stock, but hard to borrow. Is that correct? It's a 256 million flow ticker. Hard to borrow. That's very strange. With such a massive flow. Wow. Okay. That's very strange. Do you have it the same too, Peter? I mean, you
Yeah,
should. Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
do.
That's weird. I
It
never
is
seen such
weird
a
because
big
it,
a big float like that. Hard to borrow. That's usually don't go together. But
yeah, this is a software services company out of China, and you're right. It's not like they had a big drawdown yesterday. I mean, they did. I mean, maybe they gapped enough yesterday downwards that it caused it to go into hard to borrow for this morning because it did drop from 13.7 to 13.70 cents. Yeah, I don't know. It's possible. Anyways, look, there's no real reason for this move. I don't know why. In fact, it specifically says, there's just broader Chinese positive sentiment. We're seeing most of the Chinese tickers, by the way, move higher this morning. Baba, Billy, Baidu, JD,
yeah,
PDD, all moving higher. So I think Casey's just caught up in the tide. Rising higher.
yeah. Definitely is seeing some showing some pop here. As we mentioned, a lot of Chinese tickers on deck this morning. We can go to some of those. We see Baba on there. PDYN. What's this one?
And
PDYN. Uh, Go ahead, Peter.
Paladine AI.
Go figure.
Paladine AI Corp.
Yeah, yeah. Go
They
figure. Chinese ticker
they
as
had some
well.
good news this morning. No, 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 no. This is a U.S. Military contractor delivering AI services, and they just won a contract from the U.S. Navy to develop an air-launched, near-hypersonic, long-range, low-cost missile. You know that thing I just read, Carlos? I don't know if that was AI written, but there are four hyphens in that. Air launched, near hypersonic, long range, low cost. All hypersonic.
There
Otherwise
you go.
known as an ALRRM, an alarm? Alarm. Anyways, there you go.
It's just craziness. How well it's going to trade, who knows? Right now, the action is very, very choppy, sideways for the most part on the 5 minute. The daily, I mean, I hope we find something much better than this today. So I'm going to keep this one off my list, friends. Let's go to the next one here. AAOI has made a lot of noise lately in our gappers list, constantly showing up here. And you can see why. They're daily moving a whole lot. And these are big moves. It might not seem like it, but if you look at it closely, look at the price tag on this thing, 65 to 80, 85 almost, right? All the way up to 130, 127, let's call it there, right? Back down to 90. So the moves here are pretty aggressive as you're seeing on the daily. Today, they
Oh,
are,
not
go
ready.
ahead, Peter.
Oh, just nothing. We'll talk about it in a second. Finish up here on
Okay.
AAOI and
Yeah. So big moves here, up 9.8, 793,000 shares traded. It is not a low flow, sitting at 70 million, as you can see here on Trading Terminal. But man, the moves are wild. Kind of makes me want to watch it because this is moving pretty well on a debt chart. We got to see after the bell, how it actually moves when the bell hits here, Peter. So what's the latest and greatest? I think you
we
might have had this on your list when I was off, but I don't remember.
No, we did talk about this yesterday. Remember yesterday there was a whole bunch of insider selling, and
Yep.
that caused it caused it to drop. It was AAOI and AXTI, I think, were the two that we were looking at yesterday, and so we didn't quite like them. But yeah, AAOI had a lot of insider selling, and this is sort of like the so-called dead cat bounce. It's just bouncing back a little bit this morning. I don't Nothing to see here. What there is to see is the market just went red, but it just bounced while we were talking here. This is what I was reacting to a second ago. The market was really selling off since 8 o'clock, actually. So the good big sell off here, and huge move. Now, I thought at first, oh, maybe it's moving because of the economic data, because we did talk about that, and that economic data but it's not out yet, and that's not it. So it's still to come. But yeah, last 20 minutes, half an hour or so, market's really been selling off. So it's I think the market's we've seen this, right? How jumpy this market is. It's really it's
Yeah.
really quite skittish out there, and we're seeing this type of move pre-market. Could be an interesting open. Could be very interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be. And again, we are getting a lot more chop than we normally get, but here and there we get some good tickers that run. Yesterday, I happened to actually pick one of those tickers, which normally doesn't happen, but I picked one of the ones that really ran. NBIS had a great short. And again, it's just, but if you looked around, a lot of stuff was very, very choppy. So we just got to be more patient. We'll find something to trade. It just takes us a little bit longer to identify those setups. So, but yeah, you're right, Peter. A little bit more choppier lately, and every little thing is just a big, big reaction. But the market just seems to still stay within. We're kind of losing the top of the range. Like if you look at the SPY right now, we're kind of hanging out up here. We'll go even a little lower, kind of hanging out above 680, just back and forth, back and forth. And we went through February, even before the war started. In February, we had a really tough time. Like this was chop central, friends. We had I spoke to many, many traders. A lot of us struggled during this time because we're just not getting, we're getting good setups, but no continuation whatsoever. And for some reason, February was like that all month. In January, by the way, just since we're talking about this, we still had the same market chop, but for some reason, the results were a lot better for us. I felt like we found a lot of good moves, a lot of continuations. There were more stocks that were trading better. But despite overall, it's choppy. So we'll see. We're losing some of this ground here. And just hope that we can find those good golden opportunities, or at least more options to find those, right? So one that never dies here is BAT-L. BAT-L continues to make some noise. It has collapsed quite a bit, guys, right? Like this thing was hanging out at 22, 24, up as high as 28. Has come crushing down the last couple of days to a low of $8. So ouch. Hopefully nobody's stuck up here on this stuff. But look at that. This morning, seeing some reaction with the market dropping. This seems to be reacting positively, man, going from red to green, up 13% now. Hard to borrow, SSR. Not the easiest stock to trade, Peter, on this BAT-L.
No, it seems to be the poster child for this oil movement in this round. Like we've said before, the other stocks were the targeted traders in the past. This time it seems to be Battalion. So BATL just moving up. Oil is moving up in price again as well. Look, the promised reopening of the Strait of Hormuz has not yet happened. And you know what, guys? Look, we struggle valiantly to avoid politics. We don't want to upset anybody, but there's a lot of politics happening right now, right? And it's having global macroeconomic impacts. With President Trump and his administration, saying first they didn't need help in the war's over, to the war's not over, to they need help, to asking NATO to jump on board, to NATO nations saying, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. All of this is causing uncertainty in the market, but it's also causing a change in oil prices. We're seeing that hit this morning. Native in the U.S., there's a bunch of political news going on there, right? It doesn't really matter what side you're on. It's having market impact. Then that's, I think, some of what we're seeing. Remember, the market doesn't like uncertainty generally. It's been remarkably stable, right? Despite the fact that there's a ton of uncertainty going on with all sorts of things, right? With the tariffs, we can't forget there's still a tariff war initiated by the Trump administration out there. And you got the Supreme Court that was ruling against it, which causes more uncertainty. Again, the market's been great despite all of that stuff. But eventually, the expectation is that's going to start to have some impact. And I don't know, is today the day we start to see it? Maybe not. It is pre-market. Just because we're dropping, we were gapping higher, right? A little bit overnight. We're just moving back to yesterday's close. So no need to panic here, but we'll see what happens when we get closer to this open. Yeah, if we start to sell off pretty heavily, there's some big levels that we need to hold, or this market could drop. So we just need to be aware of all these things because the risk is at some point it's going to come to a head, and it sort of makes sense. It could be on the Fed rate release day, right? Because that's sort of when you get a different focus on the market, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for the sake of Battalion and what we got here, oil prices are up again this morning, which is going to cause some of these oil-related stocks once again to move a little bit higher. The other thing that's having a big impact, anyways, I'm tentative about mentioning all this stuff, but again, well, we'll talk about NVIDIA, but there's also like a release. It looks like NVIDIA's, got release from the U.S. federal government to sell more chips back into China, despite the previous restrictions, and that has, Chinese stocks going higher. Whoops. But it also, it unfortunately lowers prospects directly in the U.S. So, that is like it's Jensen. What is he raising a toast? Is that him
Yeah.
out on St. Patty's Day?
Nah, this is somewhere in China because I could tell by the pictures on the wall.
Oh, that's
So he
true.
was
Yeah.
either in China visiting some people, and that's probably
Okay.
what is it? What
All right.
sake? What's that they drink? Sake? That
So
warm.
that's Japanese.
Oh, it's
That's
Japanese. Okay, okay.
Japanese.
All right. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
I
that
don't
is
know what
then.
he'd be drinking
I'm
there.
not. Yeah, I'm not sure what
Probably a
he'll be
beer
drinking
of
there.
some sort, I guess. I don't know.
And that small cup,
But
it's got to be something lethal.
in any event,
It's too small of a cup for a beer. So, all
yeah.
right. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean he is well he
is
is
he Chinese? I don't
Chinese,
know what he is.
yes. Well, he's Chinese by heritage, but he grew up in like Louisiana or something,
Like
didn't he? Like it
Minnesota?
was
Yeah.
Minnesota, was that it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Yeah,
I don't
I have
remember.
no
I don't.
idea.
I always forget. Somewhere. I thought it was somewhere in the south, but anyways, yeah. He. I don't think he's ever lived in China. He's just he's but oh no, he was born in Taiwan. So there you go. I guess
Oh,
that's
he was born in
appropriate.
Taiwan. Okay.
Apparently
But was he like?
that's appropriate for a chip guy. So
Wow, really? That makes perfect sense. He's like, I want to run
yeah.
your factory. So there you go.
No, it was
Um,
Kentucky. That's it. He lived in Kentucky. Like
yeah,
you got to give the guy some props, man. Having grown up in Kentucky as a Chinese or as a Taiwanese immigrant, that's that's pretty awesome. So, but
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. All right, there
so
we go. He's having a great time there. But man, this is good for him. And let's see what Nvidia's doing. I mean, although it started off well, it's giving some back. It's just kind of falling into the arms of whatever the market is doing. But again, it's some positive news for them. I don't know what that amounts to as far as dollars. For them. So I don't know what that business is. I remember when they took that business away, Peter. It was something very low. It wasn't like a significant number to begin with. So I don't know what this means for them. But anyway, more positive news. Just the market right now is slapping them around a little bit. You can see they're kind of coming back down to their previous day close. All right, excellent.
yeah.
All right, let's continue. Carson says, "Quit while you're ahead." I don't know which common offender. We said so many. You could go 8 different ways, but pick your favorite, and yeah, just know that
Trying
we don't mean it. Okay, so
trying
yeah,
hard not to offend anybody on any
you
side
know,
of the political spectrum.
once in a while you got to get things a little spicy and offend a couple of people. It makes you feel alive, It makes you feel
Makes
like
you
there's
feel
something
alive.
happening. It gets the people going. You know what I mean? So it's okay. All right. Let's see.
Okay.
Another big one for today is we kind of spoke about it a little bit. Is Macy's, right? So they had earnings,
Yeah.
Peter. I'm looking at their stock right now. These guys are up 7.6 at the moment, 856,000 shares traded. Somehow, these guys are still alive as far as their stores, but they've taken a big hit here in Jersey. In New Jersey, a lot of them have closed. Some of them have reduced their retail space. Again, these huge companies with these same thing with these massive buildings of real estate space
And
with three
yeah.
cats in there. It's just not going to work. You're not paying the rent with that. So here it is. Macy's up though. Some good positive news for them.
Macy's and my breakfast made me think about retail today. We'll get there in a second. Let's talk earnings. Macy's beat their Q4 earnings. They had good numbers in the quarter. The key thing though is their guidance. Their guidance was a little lower. The outlook was lower than analysts were expecting, and as such, Macy's. I'm surprised to see it green. I actually thought it would be red here by the time we got to this point in the morning. By the way, we do have the economic data that came out, Carlos, a minute ago. I meant to
Yeah.
mention that. Let's come back to Macy's in a second.
Yeah, let's
Just
do
to give you
that.
guys a highlight, it is the active numbers are on my shared screen. The PPI numbers came out better than expected. So that might be good to support the market here. 0.3% was the forecast for both the core and the non-core. As you can see on the screen, it came out at 0.7 and 0.5 for the core, respectively, right there. So those are the morning numbers. Remember, 10 o'clock we got and 10:30 we got factory orders in the crude oil, and then the big one's 2 o'clock, right? So for anybody that just joined a little bit late, our economic data for today, just the morning stuff came out. The big number is the 2 p.m. Fed rate announcement, which is expected to show interest rates unchanged And we get that the number comes out, and the computers go gaga for a couple of minutes right at 2, and then the press conference starts at 2:30. So that's what we have to look forward to in economic data. So yeah, let's talk retail. As I said, Macy's earnings were making me think, it's got to be tough running a store these days. I don't understand. I have to admit, I don't understand the economics of it because it's one of these things where I was having my breakfast this morning and I grabbed a banana and I had a banana for breakfast, Carlos. And over the weekend, I went to Costco and I bought this package of bananas. Now we've already eaten two, but there were eight bananas in this nice little package of bananas, and they're actually all green when I bought them, and they're now of course ripening. These are a proud product of Guatemala. So they were shipped from Guatemala to Canada. And how much do you think I paid for these bananas?
US. I do the shopping. I don't look at the price tag. $8. $8 US dollars.
$8. Yeah. $10? Yeah. See, sometimes I don't understand the economics of things. I paid in Canadian $1.59. $1.59 for not that's not like per pound or something. That's the total price for these bananas. $1.59. It was the total cost, which is in the US that's like a buck 10 or something, a buck 20, whatever. Like how could it possibly be? This has got to be a loss leader, right? There's no way they're making money. How do you grow these, package, pick them, package them, ship them? There's no way. Anyways, I never understand it, right? And then I was looking at my phone, and my phone is a miracle of technology, right? The smartphone can do all sorts of things. It's brilliant. And then you think about it, how is it possible that this phone costs the same amount as a good suit? Well, not even just a decent suit, which costs the same as a sofa. Like I just somehow, anyways, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did the cash register make a mistake on that? Because that sounds, or are they just too much inventory? Got to get rid of it. It's either
No,
either you
that
take it for $1, or my guy has to take it out to the truck and get rid of it professionally. That costs probably more
that was the
than the
posted
dollar.
price. So
Yeah, that probably costs more than the
it was
dollar.
a buck 59. They
Yeah,
were all packaged like this, like Costco, right? You can't
yeah.
buy individual bananas. You had to buy the whole pack. And we don't need 8 bananas in a week. It's just my
Hmm.
wife and I. I mean, how many bananas? We don't, it's not
Yeah.
like we each eat a banana a day. But anyways, but I'm like, I thought, what the hell? I mean, this is cheaper than when I go to the grocery store and I buy them by the pound. I won't get it
Yeah.
that cheap. But anyways, it's just,
John says I need to get out more. That's a normal thing for Costco. I'm not doing the Costco thing, man. I'm not doing the line. I'm not doing that. I go in, get in and get out, right? I go in, get in and get out. I'm not
yeah,
here trying to
well,
have an event.
Carlos,
No, no,
man,
no, no. In,
look,
out.
you're
That's it.
you're missing
I'm missing the
bananas
dollar
for a
deal.
buck.
I'm not into
Yeah.
that. Not into that.
I mean, Costco doesn't sell anything by the pound because they don't have scales or anything at the cash, right? So it's got to be a fixed price. So they just sell everything at a flat price, so they can just scan it and off you go. Anyway, it just made me think about the economics. And I go back to Macy's, like it's got to be hard running a department store because you sell. I'm sure there's things that you buy that like your margin's got to be razor thin, and there's other things that you have massive margin. Like I got to believe, like I said, buying that suit for the same cost as a phone. I gotta believe that you're charging a huge markup because how else could you justify the relative cost? But I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense to me.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I agree.
All right.
Friends, as we've
All
been
that being
chatting
said,
here, the
yeah,
SPY
get back to it.
continues to, SPY continues to actually react here. You see it going red, and again, volume and everything. It's
did.
not reacting very good. Let's see what it does, right? Still very early. News just came out just about 7 minutes ago. And let's see what it does. We've seen this before where it drops down and comes back up. But right now, feeling a little bit of pressure as we're getting to some of our tickers on our gappers list here. But yeah, Peter, it's we'll see what happens here. Very interesting at the moment. We cover Macy's. Peter, are you going to have Macy's on your list? What's your thoughts?
I've spent a lot of time over the years watching Macy's, and it rarely has traded in a way that has given me opportunity. That being said, early on, like back when I started full-time day trading back in 2017, I had some great trades on Macy's because it traded a way I liked, penny by penny, didn't move much, but I could take a 5 cent risk and get a 30, 40 cent move. So I used to love it, but it's been a very long time. So I may watch it for nostalgia, but I don't expect much from it.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. I might put on the secondary list. Just it's Macy's. How can you not watch Macy's, right? I bought a lot of stuff from Macy's in the past. I don't go there anymore. But Macy's, it's nice. It's nice to have here on the list. All right,
All right.
let's see. Let's see what else, friends, on the Gap Up list. We got a couple. Some stuff notice has been disappearing from the list. Baba was on here, and some other ones fell off just because the overall market is pulling things lower and just putting pressure on some of the tickers that were actually slightly up by either 2 or 3%. We still got VNNET here, VNet here, and also AXTI, which we kind of spoke about already. So let's look at VNET and also see light move this way up there. So let's take a look at
Light,
those
yeah.
two. And then we'll head over to the gap down side of things. Here's Light this morning up 7.4, 554,000 shares traded. Daily has been extremely active, especially all after February. Is this war related thing? Because look, after that seems to be
No.
very, very active. So what's going on with these guys?
This is a company called Lumentum. We have looked at them in the past. They make optical devices. And there was a T. Rowe Price analyst report that came out that said that there's expected to be significant shortages in optical devices, and it's a key supply chain bottleneck for AI data centers. So that just means that there's going to be more demand for their products and they're going to be able to charge more. So that's good news for Lumentum, and their stock is getting a little bit of surge as a result of that. I mean, generally, their products have been more in demand as optical devices have been integrated into AI data center, sort of configurations, I guess, as that people are trying to build out these big data centers. And we have to remember that, right? Sometimes the play is not the obvious one especially if you're a long-term investor, right? We don't talk about long-term investing, but you think about all these data centers being built. What's all the stuff that they need, right, to run these data centers? Lumentum's just a good example of these optical devices that are needed to support, the chipsets, the all the other stuff that's being built into that. So this is it's been a growth stock as AI and AI data centers have exploded.
Yeah, yeah. So there it is, guys. Very, very active this morning. A little bit high price, which is maybe causing the lack of volume. Only 563,000, although they're up 7%. I think you'll find better things to look at. But if you do like this one, it is in play. I'm gonna skip on it for now, and put it to the side at the moment. Peter, what are you looking at today that's catching your attention? What's happening?
I remember in the chat, I saw Ben look at gold, and I looked at it myself.
Yeah,
Gold is like it's plummeting here. Look at GLD, which is just the ETF for gold, but woof, it's been dropping over the last 2 hours. Look at that
yeah.
gold price.
Something's not
Oh, the
not looking good here.
humanity, as Carlos would say.
Yes.
I mean,
No, it's
as
Brian.
Brian Brian would
Brian would
say.
say
Right.
the
Yeah.
humanity. Interesting.
The
Gold, yeah, taking
humanity.
a hit here. I'm gonna add this to my secondary and just have it here, just so I can look at it later. Just remind myself to look at gold. So I'll put it on the secondary list,
Mhm.
friends. Not that I'm gonna trade it, but let's see what happens. How about silvers? Are those also taking a dive slightly?
Yeah,
You
it's
can see
going
silver.
not quite as
Yeah.
drastic, but it is
Yep.
definitely going down with it. Yeah.
Definitely going down here, friends. Okay. The last one on the gappers list that we're going to look at is VNet. It is on here. We are up 6.1, 386,000 shares traded on VNet. And again, not much volume, up 6 point something. Daily doesn't get great volume either. Probably won't be on my list. I think there's better names for us to look at, especially on this gap down. I see some names I do want to have on here. Seeing MSTR, NVO, Coin, which is one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm probably gonna skip on this one, Peter. What's the latest and greatest?
They had earnings after the close yesterday, so looks like they had positive revenue growth. They had expansion. They missed their earnings per share actually, but that's because they said they were investing more money in their data center expansion. So this is an IT services company out of China. So that's not I don't think it's going to be a good trader. I think you're probably right to move on from it.
All right, let's do that, friends. Moving on from this one. And I see, again, Baba on and off this list. I know they have also news on their AI and what they're doing there. But look at Baba at the moment. We're up pretty high today, 142.17. Since then, we have gave some back, probably because of the market and the way it's dropping, putting the weight on a lot of stocks that were in the green or were up higher
No.
than what they are now. They're down, only up 1.2, 1.9 at the moment, 1.2 million shares traded. So, Peter, I know there's some news out there with OpenClaw AI. They're creating some stuff. What's happening?
Yeah, Baba, like we said, moving the China. There's generally a little bit of enthusiasm for the Chinese sector today as it's moving. Baba specifically is moving because they actually just raised their prices for all of their AI computing chips and their cloud storage services. They said they're getting much bigger demand, and therefore the prices are going up. So they're increasing their rates into demand because they know they can. So that's giving their stock a little boost today. So,
All right.
and you ready for this, guys? So yeah, because we what gold is going down, the dollar, and as people are saying, yeah, the dollar is going up, and they usually work in inverse of each other. I was looking at paper stocks, and I noticed the paper stocks haven't moved at all. It's probably because they're stationary. What a bunch. The dad joke for you guys. You're
Oh
welcome.
boy, oh boy.
Come
There
on.
you go.
Wait,
It's funny. I was listening in intentionally, like, oh, where's this going? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
crap, he got me.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. All right.
There it
Made you
is.
pay attention. You're welcome.
Yeah,
But
you definitely got us focused there. We got to get this with your face in it. We got to get this with Peter's face in there. All right, friends. There it is. I'm sure many
Okay.
of you got really focused on that one. But yeah, continuing here on our gappers list, buy tradingterminal.com. We cover the
Frank
stuff
the
in the
bald
green.
guy. We heard his head.
Oh, Frank the
Sorry,
bald
Frank.
guy.
But it's good to see you
Follow,
back, Frank.
yeah, follow his channel for some music. He got some guitars in there. All right, let's see what's gapping down, Peter. We've got a couple of things in here. We got a bunch of stuff on the gap down list. Let's start with NUAI and see what's driving that today. But I do see some better names towards the bottom, including NBIS, which was our winner for yesterday. Might watch that one again today and see if anything comes out of that one. But here it is, NUAI. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this one. It looks horrible. Barely any volume, down 8.7. But, Peter, there's really nothing to see here as we're going through the details.
Sorry, yeah, my daughter's emailing me about a bunch of tickets she got from the city. She's always getting parking tickets. Anyways, she's going to fight. I gotta figure out what she's talking about. Yeah, New Era Energy and Digital Inc. Wow, it feels like they're throwing everything into this company. NUAI, New Era Digital Energy and Digital. Okay, looks like they're reporting. They reported earnings, and I don't see the results. Or are they reporting after the close? It says they're to report earnings after the close today, but that was posted yesterday, but I don't actually see their earnings. I'm going to assume that they posted their earnings and it wasn't good. So I don't, there's not a lot of coverage and reporting on this company, Carlos.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
happens with these
amazed.
smaller companies. You don't have any
Yeah,
analysts looking at it and reviewing it, so they don't
no,
care. You know, they don't
no.
care
I
about
mean,
it. So
and this is a company with sales of less than a million. I see their sales at 890,000. So I'm not even sure why are we talking about this. I think it's time. I think we can move on.
oh yeah, we spent too much time on this, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next is Sale. Sale is next on the list here, and let's see. These guys are down pretty bad as well. Down 11.3, 720,000 shares traded. Another one that probably doesn't get a whole lot of action. Very light daily as far as volume goes. So again, I think we'll have better stuff towards the bottom of the list. I see some better names coming up here. So Peter will skip on this one too. But if again, and when we're skipping, keep in mind, guys, when we're skipping on some of these stocks, we're looking at based on how me and Peter trade. If you're new to the channel, me and Peter have our trading styles, our strategies that we look for, mainly momentum type plays. This doesn't fit the criteria that we like, right? But for you, could be completely different. This might be your bread and butter and exactly what you're looking for when you do your stock selection, right? So just keep that in mind. We're looking at it for the way we trade. This is not going to fit the bill.
I would happily be in a commercial with Flo, by the way, for everybody with their comments. That would
Yeah. No, I like it's the other guy, the guy with the. No, there's another guy that's much better than the Flow
be.
people that I think you fit perfectly. I gotta find their name. It's
Oh
the guy
yeah.
with the dad.
All
My
right.
dad used to do this. Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it. but yeah,
Yeah.
here's sale,
Yeah.
Peter.
Maybe
Anything
we don't
we?
get those ads in Canada. They don't sound familiar to me. So,
Yeah, I'll get it.
anyways. All right, we're looking at Sale, which is a company called SailPoint, another software services company. They met their numbers in Q4, nothing exceptional, but their guidance was lower. Their Q1 and full year 2027 guidance was lower than analysts were hoping for, and as such, the stock is dropping.
Yes, Sean, you got it. It's him. That's what I gotta look for. Yeah, so I don't like this one, guys. We'll leave that one alone. SBSW is a South African mining company. I believe I have that right.
Yeah, I got
And
this wrong the other day.
yeah,
Sibanye Stillwater. It's a mining company out of South Africa. Yeah.
yeah, and they come up on our list a lot because they gap up and down a lot, but normally not really in play. So they're down today this morning 8%, but again, not really tradable. So we're just gonna move on from this one and head on to the next one, Peter, unless you have anything to share. But the next one, we're starting to see all these tickers come up now. We spoke about gold, AU, GLD. I see here, what's the other one? AU, AG.
Yeah.
And then we have GLD, which is not
The,
on our list yet. They're all here, Peter.
Well, as the market's been dropping heavily, as we said, over the last 40 minutes now, you're going to start to see the gappers list on the downside fill up, right? And it's going to start, usually the stuff that flies the highest drops the first. So, yeah, a lot of the AI companies, a lot of the mining companies are here. Even a lot of the semiconductors, I now see in the red, although they haven't gapped enough. Interesting, Micron's the only one that's not red yet, but it's heading that way. But everything else is just a little bit red. So we'll see what happens. The list is going to fill up here, Carlos. Most of it is just being
Yeah.
sucked down by the market as we see this market sentiment erode here this morning.
Yeah, we're starting to see that the gappers list grow pretty aggressively as stuff starts to get between that above that 2%, the gap down. You can see it right on there, making their way over here. So we're gonna hop around a little bit to cover some sectors that I think are gonna be very exciting. We just brought up MU, but man, I like this one. New all-time highs. Look at this here. This is your all-time highs now sitting at 476.70. So I'm gonna mark this here. That is your new all-time highs for MU. If you look at the daily, you've seen how, man, MU has just been incredible. Like I know Nvidia's gets all the headlines, but MU on paper, man, they just been crushing on this daily. I mean, just constantly higher and higher. Nvidia seems kind of
And
stuck over the last few months. They've just been stuck. Like it's
yeah.
they're not moving compared to MU.
Micron's been like almost, I feel like a sleeper stock has been right there under our nose. It hit all-time highs yesterday, like far and away all-time highs. Remember yesterday, Carlos, you were trying to set that level at the all-time high? And do you remember
Yeah,
what that level was? It was 455.50. Well,
yeah.
look at where they closed yesterday, right? They closed at 461 and were as high
Hmm.
over the course of the day at 462.70. This morning they gapped up as high as 476
Yeah.
in the pre-market. So it's been these guys are just they're just roaring higher.
Yeah, they sure are, man. They were pretty nice today, but it looks like the SPY had other plans for it. And you can see the drop coming in here, almost going red. That's just above the previous
Well,
day close.
and like we pointed out earlier, right? I'll say it again for anybody that just joined. Micron it's almost like it's one of those stocks. I feel like it's priced to perfection, right? The expectations are so high on their growth that no matter what they say on earnings, first off, the market is going to expect like the ground stakes right now are that they're going to beat the numbers handily. So even if they meet analysts' expectations, that's not going to be good enough. The stock will probably still drop. They literally have to beat not only what they said, but the analysts' expectations, which are higher than what they said they're going to do. And even that might not be enough to float this, especially depending on what the market does today. If this market continues weak all day, Micron's going to be hard pressed. It may be a bad day for Micron, even if they have fantastic earnings, just because there might be nothing they can do to fight the tide. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm adding MU here to the list. And with that, let's just skip around here, Peter, on our gap down list. Anything you want to
Yeah, I got a
cover?
bunch that
Yeah. Yeah, what you got
yeah.
there?
Let's start with earnings overnight. We had earnings yesterday from Oklo, OKLO. Um, and it's funny how they have earnings, but earnings don't matter too much on Oklo. They basically posted revenue of $0. Zero. This is a company we watch regularly. They're not, the earnings don't really matter. What matters is how much money they're spending, and they did spend more this year than last year. But as they're ramping up towards production, that's the expectation, and they're continuing to burn cash at a startling rate, but they're getting cash at the same time. So they've got an entire engine out there just to not only to create their product, but also to get the cash to fund the creation of that product. So Oklo is interesting. It's active this morning, and with the whole market moving, it's probably not the best trading stock, but it had earnings and it was there. Another one was Lululemon. I know we were Lululemon. This is another one that was in a tough position because they had relatively low forecast for the quarter, but they beat them. They beat their numbers. They did better than expected. Lulu's usually pretty good about managing that expectation and delivering above that. They're very flexible that way, pun fully intended. But they basically their guidance is what the analysts are concerned with, that they weren't guiding as robustly as expected. Now, they've had a couple of contracts that they've had to manage quite carefully, some high profile stuff. So it's not unexpected that their guidance is going to be a little bit lower, but still the stock is moving down. I know it's a favorite of Brian in the chat room, being headquartered out there in Vancouver. It's one that he watches closely because it's proximate to him, but it doesn't trade all that well. But it's there if you want it. The other one was Docu, DOCU, which I always get it wrong. I want to call it Documentum. That is not it. It's DocuSign. DocuSign, which had earnings. They actually beat their numbers in quarter. Once again, it's always about guidance on how a stock moves. And their guidance was like, in line with analysts, but they didn't blow anybody's minds. So again, sometimes it's like you got to do better than we expect, or it's not good enough. So that's unfair as that may be. That's sort of the way it works. Those were the earnings ones that I wanted. Oh, I was going to mention. I was going to mention uh, General Mills,
Hmm.
GIS. GIS also had earnings this morning, and this is another one that struggles to trade well. They missed their numbers though. They missed on revenue slightly. They missed on bottom line earnings by about 10 cents a share, delivering 64 cents versus an expected 74 cents. It's another one that I think, this should trade well, and it doesn't really. It doesn't move much every day, so not much going on there, not much to see. What does have something to see, this is an interesting one from yesterday. I noticed that Novo Nordisk was on the list, and I think it's dropping largely because there's concerns overall on this on the fat drug market. Can I call it that? Anyways, for the Ozempics of the world and all of the related drugs, there's a lot of them out there these days. But Lilly got a downgrade yesterday over concerns of their ability to compete in this segment space. And if you look at yesterday, we Carlos weren't watching it because it only started to move after
Yeah.
the open. In the chat room, a number of people were mentioning it, and my goodness, like just look at the chart for yesterday and LLY. It really had quite a down day yesterday. So I don't know if it's going to be in play again today. So far this morning, it's only down modestly on modest volume, but it certainly was a big mover yesterday. So it might be, if you don't mind the sector, it might be one worth watching. LLI, Novo Nordisk, some of the others who are in this segment that were also mentioned. So yeah, that's those are the ones that I was keeping an eye on. Of course, the semiconductors always in play, always watching, right? They're resilient. NVDA has actually managed to hold on to green here momentarily. Anyways, it's 7 cents to the green.
Hmm.
And Micron, of course, is still green, so I'm definitely keeping an eye there. And then you can't ignore Tesla. Tesla always has some decent moves. Yesterday, I did not trade it well, so it didn't treat me nice, but that's my own fault. So But Tesla's always a stock to watch. So those are the big
Yeah.
ones that I've got, Carlos.
It sure is, man. We're getting some great movements. I hope that when the bell rings, this continues. Look at Tesla right now, as you mentioned just a moment ago. Go red to green. Some really nice movements overall, and a lot of it obviously started by the overall market, as you can see here, continuing heading lower, making a new low just a minute ago here. So looking forward to this open for sure. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to add a couple of things. I'm going to add Tesla. So we're just talking about it now. I am going to add MU. I have there already. I'm going to add NVIDIA. So much AI stuff going on there today. We'll see how that plays out. Again, if you just read the headlines for NVIDIA and you had to draw a picture of their daily by just reading the headlines, you would think they'll have something better than this. Just the headlines, right? Of all the positive stuff back and forth. Sell to China, no problem. Get connect with MBIS, no problem. Future forecasts on their event that they had.
Yeah,
Going to
$1 trillion of revenue.
trillions of dollars of. I mean, you read all this stuff, you think the chart's gonna look like this, and you come here and it's like, what are we doing? Nothing,
Yeah.
right? Just stuck in this daily. So nevertheless, it is NVIDIA. I'm going to have it here on the list and see where we go from there. And then I also want to have MBIS looking pretty good this morning. I saw some of you guys on deck already taking a couple of trades short. Mr. Beam, I think, is already short on this one. I think it'll be a secondary today. I don't think it's going to be on the main list, but I do want to keep an eye on it. Top of the secondary if it continues to trade so well this morning. So, all right, so that's what I have. Peter, for you, what do you like so far before we go to the chat?
Well, like I mentioned, I think I'm going to keep an eye on the semiconductors, Tesla. They're always in play. Not a lot of these earnings I think are going to make my list because I just don't think many of them are going to move very well. Like we were just talking in the chat here, it's a good day for the Rising Devil type setup. So we'll have to see. I'm not convinced yet that the market is truly going to go significantly red because we started the morning, on a high note and then sold off really heavy. This is the type of sell-off that, again, preceding the market, I've often seen bounce back. So I'm just thinking that I don't want to get caught thinking that everything's going to be short because we're moving down so hard. Again, this is not significant volume or opinion compared to the opening bell and when all the volume comes into the market. And they may just say,
Right.
good, perfect, right buying opportunity. Let's jump in, and this market will be back up to where it started at around 7 a.m. before you know it. So, be judicious, be
Yeah.
suspicious, and keep your wits about you as we go into this trading open.
Yeah, absolutely. I see here SanDisk was being brought up in chat, and yeah, I do see that. Is that hitting all-time highs? I mean, it's another one that has had an
Yep.
incredible run on the daily. I mean, what is this? Was it $0? Was it like a negative $10 or something? I mean, this is below. I don't know how low this thing is, but my goodness. I mean,
No.
this has to be one of the
Yeah.
biggest runs in like New York stock, like stock market
It,
history. Like it has to be up there, top five. I mean,
well,
in
the
this,
problem is you get all those low floats that move from a dollar to $80, right? And there's an eight
true,
thousand
yeah,
percent increase. But
true,
yeah,
very true. But
but
over
from
time, like an actual company, like,
But for an
like,
actual company, yeah.
yeah,
But for a major stock, yeah, for like, an ongoing company going from the 20s, 25, $27 up to 700, that's a good
mm-hmm,
move. Now, I mean, there are other companies that have done that move. Obviously, a lot of the big ones. NVIDIA's done it, Microsoft's done it, Apple's done it, but usually not over the course of 6, 8 months, right? Like
yeah,
usually that's a multi-year type move. So yeah, if you were
it's
an
just
investor in
wild.
SanDisk, I wish I could turn back the clock. Who knew? Who knew
Yeah,
SanDisk would be the one that would, have this type of growth? So clearly not
um,
me.
unbelievable. Mr. Bean,
So,
Matt says his girlfriend told him to buy SanDisk last spring,
oh no.
and he didn't. Last
Yeah.
spring, she told you.
Yeah.
So that's probably an
What did she
ex-girlfriend
know?
now.
How did she know to buy
I don't
SanDisk?
know.
I mean,
It's probably his ex now.
you
I mean,
you
she
got to
probably
listen to
left.
that girl more.
No, she's gone.
Yeah.
She's out of here.
Yeah, because she bought in
She,
it. I'm not sticking around with
yeah.
this dude. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, oh my goodness. Mr. Beam.
She bought
Again,
it
who
herself.
who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? All right.
Like it is amazing. Like a year ago, not even a year ago, if you'd have bought this in, just like if you'd bought this in over the summer, let's say, you could have easily got in around $40.
Yeah,
You know,
$40.
and
Yeah.
40, well, in the spring anyways, $40, in the summer 45. But yeah, picture it now, it's sitting at $700. You could be set. You didn't have to buy that much. And
Yeah,
certainly would have given you a
it's nice
fantastic
to see.
return.
It's nice to see.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm
Crazy,
sure
crazy.
shareholders are very happy on
Anyways.
this one. This thing is just unexpected here. All right, guys, let's go to you guys. What do you guys like to?
Yeah.
I do see
Yeah.
MSTR on deck here. MSTR
I think
also making some noise. Yeah, Peter, you think?
I think the chat here is right. NC Trader's got it right. Mr. Bean Matt, ask her what she thinks we should buy now, because I feel like
let's
I
bring
want to
her.
listen to her. I mean,
Let's
we
bring
only
her on
have
the
one
show.
data
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
She could
Let's
have,
bring.
for all I know, she could have also told you to buy some other stuff that would have lost you money. But based on that one recommendation, I want to know what her others are. Maybe we should track them.
We're gonna have an interview with her. We'll bring her on the show and
Yeah.
get her expertise. Um, MSTR with Coin and some other ones are also are dropping this morning, friends. I mean, so much stuff looking like the spy. It's gonna
Oh
be hard
yeah.
today to pick some of your favorites. But you can see here, Coin, MSTR, are they all going into the red. Let's check out Hood. I'm sure Hood looks the same. Yeah. See,
Oof.
a, a lot of stuff. Wolf as
Crypto.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin's
Wolf.
dropping heavily here
Mm-hmm.
this morning. Last
Yeah.
couple of hours here, last hour and a half, it's dropped from about 74,000 to 72. So
Yep.
again, there was a day when it used to be the $2,000 move on Bitcoin was a nothing. That's a big move these days because it doesn't move as fast as it used to.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
getting old.
I like Coin out of all of them. I think Hood can be good too. But Coin and Hood are my favorites. MSTR looks great. I mean, they all look good. Actually, MSTR, if I want to be, if I want to stop my bias, I have a bias that MSTR trades bad, but if I look at this pre-market action, it actually looks pretty good. It's not the MSTR that we knew back in the days, right? Where it was just crazy action. We're not seeing that anymore. It's a little more tamed with a lot more volume, and the price tag is reasonable. Yeah, I think MSTR could be the one that we look at today. Let me put that on the list here, friends. MSTR will go on the list there. All right, what else you got? I'm looking at X. I'm looking at YouTube. Silver and gold are dropping. I do have GLD at the bottom there. You can look at silver as well. Look at silver just plummet here. The humanity, silver, GLD, all these stocks, AG, dollar up, gold down, and you can see the reaction we're getting now. So pick your favorites out of all of this one. SOV is a good one. I think this one can trade very well. I watched this one in the past before. I will add this on the list. I think it'll be interesting to have on here. Man, look, it's just, as Brian would say, the humanity. All right, what else? What else we have here? Let's say here. Let's look up what else. MU we have on the list. Yes, with earnings tonight at right at 4 earnings for MU. Meta. Let's take a look at Meta, and then we'll head over to our community events and announcements. So we get ready for the market open. Meta right now. What do we got with Meta? One sec. Yeah, just overall market stuff got right, guys. I mean, just the overall SPY moving lower, and it's dragging so many things down, including Meta and some of our semis. So pick your favorites today. I think I like the list I have: MU, Tesla, NVDA, MSTR, and silver. I think this is a very nice list. So I'm looking forward to see how that looks today. With that, friends, you can
Buddy,
always. Oh, good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Andrew.
I'm
Oh,
doing
good morning, Andrew.
good. This morning
Good,
I'm
So,
man.
great.
Awesome,
yeah.
man. Awesome.
People are
And
commenting
any,
how everything's going down, but oil, yeah, oil prices are
yep.
going up. I saw a fascinating stat last night that they were because oil's all of the conversation these days, and
Yep.
the U.S. population of is about 4% of the world population, right? I think the world has about 8.3 billion people. There's about
Mm-hmm.
350 million in the U.S., so it's about 4% of the world population. But the U.S. consumes 20% of the world's oil supply. So no wonder, it's one of those things where I say, like, it's amazing to me how much oil factors into it. But knowing how many products it's used in, and that's big. In fact, on a per capita basis, the U.S. consumes 2.5 gallons of oil per person per day. Isn't that fascinating? I found that
That's
fascinating.
fascinating.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
do you feel
Um,
like you consume 2.5 gallons of oil every day, Carlos?
yeah, it might not feel that way. I'll
But how do
probably
you
do it
measure
with
that, right?
yeah, I don't know how you
But
measure
that's the
that.
stuff that goes into all the products, shipping, right? I
Yeah,
mean, production, let alone the gas that goes into your car. That's sort of the least of it, right? The rest of it is all the stuff
yeah,
that you consume. But it's just an amazing stat. So it helps us understand though why it's such a focus of this economy, and it's going to be a big focus when the Fed speaks this afternoon. So, anyways,
yeah,
be careful, guys, because again,
yeah.
this market is moving down heavily right now, but we really have to wait to see when this money comes in. This opening bell could be very interesting. I think, get ready. We could see some sharp moves. So,
Yeah. Andrew's
Andrew,
going to
what are
get
you
his
going to be
screen
watching?
ready. But before we do that,
Well,
actually, Peter, let's get to your community events and announcements, and then we'll look at what Andrew's watching. So then we'll be ready for the
okay.
market open. But yeah, tell us what's happening today. Then we'll go to Andrew. I'm waiting for his screen to come up, and then we'll go do that. Perfect.
Yeah. So, and Andrew, you said that the U.S. is energy independent. It actually isn't. The U.S. Consumes 20% of the world's oil, but only produces 13%. So they're a net importer every day.
Are you
So
sure about that? Because I heard this different data about that. US has been energy independent. It produces more than it's consumed. However, it does import, for example, from
no.
Canada because of based on some of the refineries are adjusted based on that. But I think in the long term, US can't support itself because
I
of
think
all the
that's where some of
factors.
the stats get missed. Like the US is actually the world's largest producer of oil, but they still don't produce enough to support themselves. They're a net importer, as far as I'm aware.
All
So
right,
that's
I
the data
stand
that,
corrected.
yeah.
I stand
So
corrected for
and
sure. But in
yeah,
reality, here is that a lot of pricing that the oil that you're seeing is not really supply and demand. Like a lot of
no.
speculation in the short term, like the way that after pandemic, do you remember the futures went negative, so they were paying you to accept like $30 to accept a barrel of oil because at the beginning it was just all speculation. Like before really the war gets into the really shortage of oil, if a Strait of Hormuz is closed, you really need 6 months. But speculation causes like the way that fart coin and Bitcoin and altcoin are going up and down. They do seriously. There's serious speculation around oil. That's why it's so volatile. It's not really directly supply and demand in the short term.
There you
That's why
go.
oil went negative. The prices.
Well, and we see that, right? Like there's concern and the gas, the price at the pump goes up. Well, that gas, it's all speculation because that gas
Exactly.
did
It's
not
a
increase
profit
in
take.
price. It
Yeah,
was
it's
produced months ago, right?
and they are taking advantage. Oil companies are
Right.
taking advantage of these volatilities. That's absolutely correct. Like it's a lot of it that they say, oh yeah, you know what? Let's increase the prices because we can.
Yeah. There you go. Just quickly, Andrew, before you go to the stuff that you're watching, I'll just mention that in the chat room tonight, we do have a webinar. Dr. Vanessa Charlin is going to be talking at 8 o'clock for all of our elite members. So she is a clinical psychologist and an active trader. She's going to talk about how you can take advantage of self-regulation to increase your trading performance. That's for all of our elite members in the chat room for Bear Bull Trading Trader members. And if you want to join, as always, go to bearbulltrading.com and you can join. We still have our St. Patty's Day discount. So if you want to join as an elite annual member, you get 50% off. It's a great deal. And you can join and get access to all, not only the chat room, but all of our educational material. All right. So with that, Andrew, what's on your radar? What are you watching today? Because there's a lot of stuff moving.
Yeah, ZSL, which is I think is the short of silver, is popping up on the scanner. It's an ETF, especially at 9 o'clock. It started running up very significantly. So that's something that I'm watching. You guys can see my screen. Tesla really sold off starting from 8:30 as well. And I like the volatility and liquidity on that. And these are the only thing that I actually have in on my watch. I haven't really looked at 100% on everything. IWM is down. So TNA, which is a leverage product of that one, could be interesting. And the USO, which is the oil ETF or oil trust is interesting. And of course, if you're trading mini contracts or futures, QM in mini crude, it would be something that can be interesting to trade.
Good targets there. Yes, indeed. I gotta get USO onto my list. Yes. Oh, how about semiconductors? You're going to be watching them today? Do you think there's any movement to be had with Micron having earnings tonight?
Well, it seems that Micron is gapping down a little bit. Yeah, it could be like NVDA always is in my watch list. NVDA is giving really good volume, good liquidity. I look into that. SOXL is another one that is at 3 times leverage. That one is also setting off and starting at 7. What was the news that came out at 10:30 or 8:30 that causes everything to move?
The producer price index, I'm not sure if that's what moved it. The only economic data we had was the producer price index. It actually came out better than expected.
Really?
So that, you'd think the market would have moved up as a result of that, but instead it's dropping.
Yeah, so
I
we
think
have Fed's decision making today. So at 2 p.m., I think they released their decision, huh?
2 o'clock,
2
exactly.
o'clock.
Yes. Yeah. And then the press conference starts at 2:30.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So, did you get your new computer, Peter?
It's I'm tracking it. It hasn't been delivered yet, but I got the new camera. And again, I look like I've got a little baby face here. With the new 4K camera, I look so pretty. Look at me.
Let me see. How do you look like on the? Nice.
It's a
No, it's
lot
It it
sharper
good.
it,
than it used to
it
be.
does
Oh,
look
you're
sharper though.
sure.
Yeah,
It
much sharper.
does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. There you go.
You too, Andrew. I was mentioning in chat your camera looks sharper too. Did you change your camera or it looks better? The sound is better too. That's
Me?
coming from you.
Me?
Yeah, the sound is
Yeah.
better. Yeah, yeah.
So, Carlos, I think what I did is I changed my computer. Now, this higher, powerful CPU that I have is probably making an impact. So, it was a CPU problem.
Oh,
My
it does look cleaner. Yeah, I see that.
computer.
All
Okay.
right, nice, nice.
Nice. Oh, you just need to turn your camera a little bit, then we can get, inception here as you got your screen behind you. Anyways.
Yeah, you can see everything. So, also, you see all the magic right now.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, any question, guys, in the chat room? We'll see what the market is doing. Opening range breakouts always is a bread and butter. Try to get that. And remember that, guys, we're gonna soon release, maybe today, a market atlas replay. Up to 2 weeks, you can go back in time and you can see the levels in different speed. You can actually try it. So for education and developing the strategies. So if you like that, give us a like for this new feature that we're gonna add. Only 162 likes. So, 1 minute opening range breakout works on the stock that are, in play, gapping up or gapping down. And essentially, you're waiting for the 1 minute. If it's strong above the VWAP, you can go long. If it's short below the VWAP, you can go short. And if it's choppy, if you feel it's choppy, you just stay away from it until, established a trend. And then maybe you can take a 5 minute opening range breakout or breakdown.
I think that's those are wise words because I think it's going to be a little skittish here at the open. We'll see what happens, but
We'll see. Like, I think it's the market obviously is really in a. So when you look at the market, let's go to S&P 500 on a daily chart. Has been really since I think November 2025. It's been almost 4 months now. So let's say October, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months that has been stuck in this range. Very volatile, not going up, not going down, but lots of intraday trading opportunities. SPY still hasn't made a contact with 660, which is the 200 moving average on a daily chart. So still has the chance to go there. One idea could be if you have cash, you can sell puts at around 655 or 650 for maybe a month or so. So that could be probably, so essentially this is a very powerful support that you're having. So it's, unlikely that it's going to go lower. If you get some good premium, maybe you can sell puts here at 655. Maybe I'll do it after I cover my Microsoft. So I already have Microsoft puts here. And if I get some really good opportunity, maybe I sell some puts on the SPY. So that's what Warren Buffett does.
and there's trade like Buffett. Why not? He may be 200 years old, still knows what he's doing.
Yeah, sell credit spread, so you can actually protect yourself with another put lower price and cheaper.
Good advice. From my side, I'm going to be watching a few things. We talked about some of the earnings. I don't think, again, any of these earnings are great traders this morning, but I will be keeping an eye on NVIDIA and Micron just to see what they do and how they react to the open. If the market continues significantly weak, I think we could see some drops there. And Tesla's, it's just always good for a move. So I don't know what to expect. Again, I'm really going to wait for the SPY and the Qs, these indices, to give us an indication where the money's going to land, because so far this morning, my God, like it's just dropped so heavy. You don't often see that significant of a move in the hour before the market opens.
Yeah, so USO levels in USO on the market atlas doesn't really give us much of a depth. On the futures, we have orders to the downside for the futures and the ES. So if I'm looking at market atlas, um, it's a little bit difficult to really find any level to see what's going to happen. But definitely USO is in play.
Oh, Carlos, and you got a big list here, Carlos. Lots of stuff to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I do, man. It's gonna be an interesting day. I got MU, Tesla, Nvidia, MSTR, and silver. But the first three, MU, Tesla, Nvidia, we're gonna focus on those out of the pack.
Yeah, I don't think Macy's is, well, I might put Macy's over here just out of interest. Like I said, it's almost like a nostalgic stock, but it typically doesn't move. It is also a NYSE stock. As I keep repeating, NYSE stocks you just have to be a little careful with, because they don't get the volume necessarily right at the open. You got to wait for the market maker to sort of, decide to make their move, and that when that happens, that's when you can see the stock move. So you'll know it. Just watch the volume. You'll see when the volume hits.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, guys. So I'm going to go to chat room, start
Okay.
doing the live trading. All the best, guys. I might come check in with you soon.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, excellent, Andrew.
All right,
Best of
guys,
luck
we're gonna
today.
watch. I feel like
And
I
guys,
gotta keep an eye on the
if you wanna,
commodities today. I don't.
yeah, but Peter, let them know how they can join Andrew if they want to see him live.
Yeah, if you want to watch Andrew trade live, because we do get that question quite a bit, all you need to do, you do need to be a member, and you can join with any membership class at bearbulltraders.com. Just go to bearbulltraders.com, run that all together as one word, and you can find our website. There you can see the sign-in details. The intro offer is your best deal. If you just want to sort of see what it's like to be in that chat room, watch Andrew and Brian trade live. You can watch them trade. If you are ready to make a bigger commitment, then the elite packages, either the monthly or the elite annual, are a good way to go. With the elite packages, you get access to all of the training, right? And the webinars and the one-on-one coaching and a number of different things that we have available. So check out the package. You can take advantage of those. Again, if you just want to join as the intro, that's fine. You'll get access to the onboarding class, which happens on Monday, but not the regularly scheduled webinar, the webinar activity. But you can be in the chat room fully. So give it a shot. Hopefully, we'll see you over there. Obviously, I'm watching it every morning. You get some good tips. And of course, later in the day, after we end the show in the afternoon, that's where we're trading live through till the close. So feel free to join us at any time.
All right, awesome, friends. Okay, let's get some levels in. 10 minutes to the market open. Let's do that, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll, friends. Going to be looking at MU first, which is pretty easy to do levels on. I mean, we're sitting at all-time highs at 476.70 is your all-time highs for MU this morning. Created right at the pre-market, gapped up pretty nice, and towards the bottom, you're set with the highs and lows for the last two trading days. So not much to add on here, not much to add above 476. I mean, you're pretty much set when it comes to this one. So pretty easy. Heading on over to Tesla now is next. Also stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. A lot of stocks are going to look like this, right? They gapped up early in the morning, and then around 7 or so, definitely into 8 a.m. when the data was close to coming out at 8:30, you see this drop, even fueled by the market more than anything. So a lot of stuff in the green, going red, and now trying to get a bounce. So here's Tesla. We're going to see this similar pattern in a lot of our tickers here. 403 is the high of the pre-market. We'll slam one there, and then another one down at 396.73. And once you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you can see we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So pretty much everything is set there. Above 403, though, we can mark some areas here, maybe 407 in case we do break higher, back towards the green and back towards that high of the pre-market, and then 411.50 also another area you want to have down. Welcome to MESOG C2E. Welcome to Lambos and Garbage Truck. Great to have you. Good to see you join the team there. So welcome. All right, let's take a look at the next one. It's going to be NVIDIA. That's pretty much set for Tesla, NVIDIA. Also similar situation as we mentioned before. The gap up early on this morning around 7 o'clock, starting to dive lower. And then, of course, the SPY putting more pressure to the downside on a lot of these tickers. High of the pre-market on this bad boy is going to be 183.94. So we'll put one there, and then towards the bottom, we do have the low of the pre-market slamming into this great area of support and resistance on the SPY right around here. That's where the previous day close is. As we're moving into the green on NVIDIA, 181.93 is that area there. So below that, friends, we're going to have 179.91, and then right here 177.62. That kind of covers everything. Towards the top, you're covered with the highs and lows as well. So not much to do there on NVIDIA. MSTR is another one that I like the way it's looking today, especially in the pre-market. You could look at a couple of these. If you like coin, it's another one that looks good pre-market as well. Hood, very similar. So a lot of these Bitcoin type plays looking pretty nice this morning. I am going to go with MSTR today. I think their pre-market looks good, their volume looks good, and their daily so-so. I'm not that interesting, but I do love their pre-market action this morning. Hopefully that can continue into the market open. High of the pre-market 151.46. The bottom is going to be down at 144.78. And once you do that, it's just, again, a lot happening here, stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Towards the bottom, the best level I see is way down at 140, almost $5 from the market low here. 140.23, that's the best level there. And then another great level with a lot of touches down at 135. So towards the bottom, I think these are the two main key areas where I see the daily giving you a lot of support and resistance. Towards the top, above that 151.46 area. The big level, clearly, if you zoom in here, in January, it's going to be this one. Like, there's so much touches happening there. It's around 158, might actually be a little higher or lower, but we'll call it 158.78 for the most part. And then above that, we do have 165. So I think they look great. It's not going to be easy to get those levels, but this stock can move. Like, look at it in the pre-market now. We already have a high of 151, of low of 145. So it can move $6 to $5 fairly quickly and easily. We just got to see how the market open is going to react to that one. Here's silver, and we have gold as well. USO, all these tickers are very, very active, but gold and silver both taking a dive. My favorite one to look at, and I have not traded this yet, but it is SLV when it comes to this sector. So I'm going to watch this one today. 68.47 is the low of the pre-market. Below that, we're looking at 66.40, and then 66.40 right here. And then down to the bottom, we're looking at 65.08. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a great job. You're surrounded by them. I don't think you really need to add anything else. And again, this was a little bit tricky with the levels because it is trading based on what the sector feels at the moment, right? So just keep that in mind. Be on the lookout for any news that can move this one way or the other. And be on the lookout also how the dollar is performing too, right? Clearly that affects the way this moves also. So there it is, Peter. What is our team watching in chat as we get ready for the market open?
Yeah, let me answer a question first. What is the name? Electrified Overlanding. I like the name. You're asking what is a funded account? A funded account is basically, it's a simulator account. So you're not trading real dollars, but you'll get paid based on your performance outcome. So basically you're given an account in a simulator for 3 months. As long as you sort of trade consistently every day and work on your trading strategy. There's a couple of rules, but it's just to make sure people don't game the system. But the reality is Andrew will pay you what you earn. So if you end up positive $5,000 in the account at the end of the 3-month trial, he'll pay you $5,000 cash. If you're up 10 grand, he'll pay you 10 grand. I think 10 grand is the cap. But if you made only $546.92, that's what you'll get a check for. So it's an opportunity to trade in a no-risk environment, but where you could actually get paid if you do manage to deliver. There's a couple of rules, like I said, about drawdown. So you can't have lost. You can't go more than $2,000 or something below your starting level, and a couple of things like that. Like you can't just trade one big trade and then shut the account down and say, well, pay me. Right. So we don't want people just buying these accounts and doing silly stuff. But the intent is to try and encourage people to build good trading habits. So So it's great. Go to tradingterminal.com and you can find more details in there, or go to the Bearable Traders website, click on funded, and you'll see sort of how it works. And there's a list of people that have got paid. Like
Yeah.
there's quite a number of people that got paid. Again, not usually to the maximum. Often they're getting paid whatever amount that they've actually earned. But that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right,
Here's
there you
our
go. Yeah, Carlos
current
has got
yeah, here's our current traders that are actually in the process at the moment, up 26,000, 21,000. This leaderboard, the same names, but they get shuffled back and forth here. So they're battling for their spot there. But again, they're going to get their payout, and it's awesome. It's awesome. So, but I agree with what you said, Peter. Again, if
Yep.
you're just looking for a quick payout, you could go do one of those, what they call it? They get payout weekly. What's that called?
those
Prop
little
firms,
contests,
prop
those
firms.
trading contests or
Yeah, you could
whatever.
do
Yeah,
those.
prop firm.
You know, if you're looking to, but this is more, hey, I want to learn how to trade to eventually trade my own account down the line, right? This is what this is for. So, you buy in 90 days. You know, can you keep the money? That is the idea. We all can make money in a prop firm in a week, no problem. Take a couple of trades, you're
Yeah.
good. Can you keep the money for 90 days? Your account keeps growing. That is the hardest challenge that traders have. And if you could fix that, then you're in good shape to open up your own account. All right, friends.
Heading quickly
Less
to
than
the
2
open
minutes.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, why
Yep.
don't we very quickly? Sorry, Brian, who's going to be trading live, is looking at Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, and Rocket Lab. Andrew, who was just here, as he said, he's going to be watching USO, ZSL, NVIDIA, Tesla, and that's it. And then, of course, the rest of our mods are watching different things. Megan's got Rocket Lab and Oklo on her list. Jared's watching Lululemon and Documentum, or sorry, DocuSign, DOCU, and others. So go to the chat room. You can find out if you're a member what they're looking at and be part of that live conversation. Otherwise, stick with us. Give us a thumbs up and a like. We'd appreciate it. And let's get going here. We're just 1 minute away from this open today. And I said I expect it to be interesting. I honestly don't know which way the market's going to go. We're getting a little bit of a bounce higher. It's moving up, but in the short term here. But who knows? This could go either way. It really could at the open. So
Yeah.
let's get ready.
Hoping for a good day, friends. Let's see what happens here. All right.
I am
Very
not
good. Very good.
following anybody. I'm not following anybody into a trade today. I made that mistake yesterday. I'm going to come up with my own ideas. And Carlos, to what we've been talking about, my objective for today, I'm going to set bigger stops, wider ranges here. I don't want to get stopped out as quickly, and I'm just going to let it run. It's either going to work or it's going to fail. Right? That's my
Yeah. Just
my
a little
goal for
room.
today.
Yeah. Because it just seems like, man, we look at your trades and they come right back to your break even and then they take off.
I
Right.
know.
So maybe a little bit of
Then they
room,
take
nothing
off, like
crazy,
I'm almost-
you know? So yeah. Let's see.
Here
how
we
it
go,
goes.
guys. Open now. There we go. There's the bell. Let's see what we get. Getting a pop
All right,
higher.
friends.
Tesla back over 400. Woo!
Let's do this, friends. See what we got
Tesla.
here.
Tesla. I'm excited this morning. Oh,
Yes.
NVIDIA drop.
Right, MU doing some stuff here. Tesla also popping up pretty nice.
Macy's popping. This might be a good. We're talking about rising devil trades. Macy's is the potential rising devil. Again, gotta wait for the big volume to come in. I haven't seen it yet. It's only traded 94,000 shares so far. It is popping higher. This is the type of move that I would look for. Again, I just don't want to get caught because these things can sometimes.
Sorry, friends. I got a chart up in a second. I'm just writing my list here. MU and ARTL. There we go.
And of
Okay.
course, Carlos always keeping an eye on American Airlines.
Yes. I move my entry up to $10. I want to be in at 10. Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna get to 950, but today might look good. Let's see. So I just move half of the entry to 10 on my Thinkorswim account. All right, MU. Oh, MU, very nice. Nice engulfing 1 minute on MU.
Macy's. Macy's.
Oh,
Come on, Macy's.
inner circle
So, like you
trader. What's
said,
it?
rising devil
I don't know what that
potential
is.
here on Macy's. I did. I still. I'm not seeing the volume, which concerns me. I did. I did try this trade. I went short at 18. Stop over the VWAP around 1810. It gave me a drop. We got a partial here. Come on. There's orders to the downside. Where's my market atlas? Market atlas.
Let's see here. MU,
Come on,
Tesla.
market atlas. Yeah, it looks like, well, there's orders top and downside.
Tesla's just battling here with the previous day close.
Yeah, it went up and dropped
Yeah.
pretty quickly right back to its open price. Look at that. I don't like this volume on Macy's. It's making me very nervous.
Yeah. Are you in on this one?
Oh yeah, I got in right sort of at the first minute because I
Mm-hmm.
saw it at the VWAP and said I got in at 18. I admit I've taken a partial, so I'm not breaking those rules. My rules are still when I take a partial, stop goes to break even. So
Yeah.
because it
Yep.
immediately moved in my favor. So that this one is one I haven't had to worry about. But if it pops, this thing could pop. I see orders up at 1830, so that could pop, and that would be above where my original stop, well above where my original stop was set. So I just don't want to get caught. So stop at break even right now.
Yeah.
Looking for a breakdown through 1750. Again, this is one you got to keep in mind the range, right? I had a 10-cent stop on this, so when I got a 30-cent move, I took a partial. It's a good 3-1. And I don't need much more than that. A 50-cent move would be a good 5-1. That's a great way. I'll take about half of my size off if it gets there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not moving much. Come on.
All right. Let's see. As you were talking, I took a short on Tesla. Careful with the share size, guys, because I got to give it to 400. So careful with the amount of shares you take. And let's see. I like the
Yeah, I was
setup on
looking
the
at that. Yeah,
5 minute
no, looks
and the
good.
1. Yeah. So let's see if we can get at least to 1R. Will be 398-ish. Actually, that's like one. Oh, yes. Good, good, good. All right, partial here. That's like 1.5R, so it's very nice. Let's see if we can get lower. Like the way that's set up there. So
Go,
partial there on
Carlos.
Tesla. Yeah, it's nice. Tesla's treating us well today. This week is treating us well so far. Let's see. Back to our break even. Previous day close, I'll give it just a little bit of room in case previous day close going to be the support, the resistance. So we'll give it to previous day close, but it's not looking like it's going to hold the line here to the bottom. So
It's holding.
let's see.
It's holding.
It's holding.
So
It went
far.
right to it. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Previous day close is doing its job so far. Oh, I'm out. I think it's gonna shoot up. Yeah, I'm out already. I'm out already. I got out.
No.
Yeah, I got out. You know what? I think it's gonna shoot up.
I mean,
and if it does that, it's just gonna be choppy. Oh yeah. So we'll take our small win and bail on it. We wanted that quick continuation. We unfortunately did not get it. BAT L.
Google.
Let's take a look. Okay, BAT L. Yeah, it's doing some stuff here. I think the entry I think for me personally, I missed the entry. If you look at the 5 minute, this would have been our entry here on BAT L for a 5 minute ORB. So I think we kind of missed it here though. So I wouldn't be taking it here. Look at it go. Oh, so nice. So nice on BAT L if you're watching that one. All right. Tesla did move higher. All right, good call getting out. Very good. Let's see if it If it comes back down, this could be one of those VWAP fake breakouts. If it comes back lower, maybe it gives it another opportunity. But we've seen Tesla do this before, and it just goes into chop and becomes very difficult to trace. So,
Mhm. God, the volume has
NVDA.
dropped heavily on Macy's Emma, and it's just
That
doing nothing.
usually what happens. And remind me, you're short or long on this?
I'm short.
You're short. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is typical Macy's, man. I've been stuck in situations like this where it just goes sideways. Like it's still in a good shape, but look at the volume just disappear on it. So let's see if it can do something. Gold sideways at the moment, trying to head higher. NBIS, not much happening here. Looks messy, very very choppy. USO just trying to figure out what's next. Silver, not much. MSTR is getting a breakout here. NVIDIA bouncing off the VWAP. If we see some weakness, could be a good entry back to the low of the day. Right, you got your previous day close and
That
your
was the
VWAP on
weirdest
here.
call. That
Yeah.
was the weirdest call I've received in quite a long time, Carlos. I
Huh.
didn't quite hear what they said because I got the phone rang and it was like I thought it was like a doctor's office, and then I
Yeah.
realized they called me because Dr. Ryan, she was calling this person, apparently received some good news about my health in his astrology reading. It was an astrology thing. They wanted to give me an astrology reading over the phone, presumably charge me for it. That's weird.
No way, man.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sure. I'm sure Dr. Ryan was thinking about me, whoever this guy is.
Yeah, I am
Anyways,
sure. All right,
weirdo.
let's see here.
Weird, weird,
You should.
weird. Okay. Guy, I'm still hanging in here on Macy's. It is doing absolutely nothing. It's just dead
Yeah.
sideways here. I guess, I mean, that's good news that it hasn't popped up. That actually means it's has got an option to move down, but I just have no idea at this point. It didn't do what I was expecting. My entry turns out to be pretty good. Sitting here again, I'm exactly $18. So I can just sit in this and wait. It's either going to come back up and hit 18 and stop me out, or
Really? I didn't know Playboy is a ticker. I didn't know they were publicly
yeah,
traded.
they had earnings yesterday. I didn't know it was
I just
publicly
saw
traded
that.
either.
I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what? I had no
yeah. I
idea
didn't think it was.
they were down with the
It,
New York stock with the stock exchange. What do they say that? What's their
it seems
ticker?
odd, right, that it's
I don't
publicly
even know what their
traded.
ticker is. Play? Oh, it should be Play. That'd be a nice ticker. It's not Plays Dave and Buster, which makes more sense. What's their
Yeah,
ticker?
no.
PB?
Hey.
Nope.
It's PLBY. PLBY.
PLBY. Dollar. Go figure. Yeah, I had no idea these guys were
I didn't know either. Yeah.
yeah. Look at that. And it looks like we might have traded it before because look, I got levels here going back to 2021. So may forgot about it. But look,
Maybe,
we
maybe.
did
I don't
play
remember
around with
ever
this one
looking at it
before.
either, but I guess we did.
Oh,
Yeah, that's weird.
uh,
It's funny, Carl,
it
when
looks like
I
it's recent.
replaced my microphone cable today, I was just thinking
Yeah.
about it as I was moving my mic. Completely forgot that I had an extension on this cable. So not only did I have a cable with potential connection issues, but then I
Mm-hmm.
had an extension on it, which it always creates just another point of failure, right?
Yeah.
Um, so anyways, yeah, see yesterday, Monday. Oh, it was Monday after the close. Sorry, I thought they had earnings.
All right, there we go.
It's got to be a tough business, Playboy, these days. Used to be very lucrative. Can't imagine
Yeah, that's
nowadays
how
with
I was thinking the same
online
thing.
availability. We'll just say it's
Yeah.
it's not the same world that they started
Yeah.
in.
But it's so funny. They went public like so late in the game. Looks like they've been out for years, right? Like
Yeah.
centuries. So it's weird.
I imagine when Hugh Hefner was running the show, he wanted it all for himself. He usually did,
Mm.
didn't he?
Oh yeah, sure.
This is how you get those ads. That's true, Carlos. You got to be careful. If we're talking about this, our phones are listening, right? We're gonna
Mm.
start getting all,
Oh yeah, yeah,
we're gonna
for
get
sure.
ads because I already know there's beautiful Thai ladies waiting to meet me apparently, and Ukrainian women and anyways apparently there's women from all over the world that are waiting to meet me. So it just depends on the day. So.
Uh, looks like
AMD pushing a
Nvidia.
little bit higher here.
Yeah,
Nvidia's gone
CN
green.
Nvidia. Yeah.
I was watching Nvidia to see if it was going to bounce off the VWAP. I was thinking about a short if it did, but it's pushed through here. Hasn't done it, so that's not an opportunity. And okay, wow, I just got stopped out on Macy's. It just popped through 8. I got a little bit of slippage on that too, unfortunately. 2 cents a
Yeah.
share. So that just that popped. So all right, we're out of that. Wasn't anywhere near of a good trade as I was hoping for. My wife is
Yes.
listening. I think my wife's got better things to do than listen to me all day. She hears enough from me. But I suppose she can go back and she can go watch the video and see what I'm talking about. All right, USO is not doing that much this morning. It's marginally higher.
Wow. I was ready to
Okay.
go
Wow,
on
strong,
Nvidia, and look at the
strong.
rejection there, right below the
Well,
VUF.
yeah,
So
strong.
no good for us.
Strong pullback on the market overall. So again, this could be a very news. I mean, we know the market's news sensitive. It could be very news driven today. There's just so many potential stories out there that could hit, right?
You
So
know,
we
what's
got to
the crappy part about all this? It's like we're getting all the best charts are happening pre-market. Like, look at
mhm.
this MU. Like, this is beautiful. Gets the market open, we're just messy. Well, now we're selling off, but like the pre-market actually is starting to look so nice, man. Look at Nvidia pre-market, just looks amazing. Market opens, pure crap. I don't know, man. We're about to start the show at 7:30 and trade pre-market. Let's see what happens here because what's going on? We need some love for the market open here. Um, let's see. See what happens. Nvidia below the VWAP and the previous day close. Can this be a rejection back down to the low of the day at 180.72? Let's see. Mark the low of the day there, 180.72. Maybe not. Going back above the VWAP. Majraj, no, not gonna do it because look, it's going the other way. We gotta do the pre-market trading. Yeah. Did Andrew catch the Tesla long? Yeah, that would have been a nice long in here. So it looks like Andrew caught Tesla in chat room. Just a nice change in direction for Tesla. Very, very well. MU losing ground. Nvidia. All right. Fed rate decision is out. 2.2 BOC rate decision actual. Okay. Thanks, JC Trader. See, I don't know if that's gonna move the markets a whole lot.
Yeah, no, the Bank of Canada rate change doesn't. Is this Bank of Canada? Is that what we're talking about? If so,
BOC.
yeah, I assume so. The U.S. market could care less what Canada does. We could we could change our rates drastically, and the U.S. market won't even bat an eyelid. So
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. All right, let's see here.
all right, what do we got going on here?
Trying to see what we get here.
see, what's Andrew looking at? Andrew's traded Tesla, of course. Looks like he had a
Yeah.
loss on Tesla, and he got back in. Now it's going well for him. Yeah, he basically got in, Carlos, almost the exact same place you got out on Tesla.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense because when this price action came up here, it looked very bullish. So yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I don't know if you have Andrew's
If
chart
I would,
there, but you can.
yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
If I kept watching, I started looking at other stuff, this could have been probably a good entry. Or even here, man. Here, pullback, entry. Yeah, that I missed that. All right, who's this funny guy?
Eagerly tracking my my packages here is my computer. Let's see where it's.
Sorry, man. Gotta hide you here.
Oh,
Okay. Get me doing that madness in my channel. What's wrong with you?
still in transit.
Bye you go. Let's see here.
Who's what?
I don't know. Promoting some fundamental analysis. You know, why don't you do it the right way? Email me, right? Do it the right way. Come online. Tell us what you're doing. Share with us, and then maybe we'll promote whatever you're doing. But don't come in the chat and say, "Follow me for this and that." Unacceptable. So he goes bye. All right. All right, let's see here. So here's the chat room, friends. If you get access to the chat room, you could try it out for $39. Get a whole week in here with Andrew and the boys, Brian, and the rest of the moderators, Megan and everybody else. Here is Tesla. Look at his Tesla trade. Oh yeah, he got in. Yeah, perfect, man.
You know,
perfect.
I have to admit,
boom,
Carlos,
boom,
we
boom.
take for
No,
granted
there's Andrew saying
stuff
hi.
that we can.
Yeah.
We take for granted the stuff that you can do nowadays. I'm just looking at my. I'm looking at my package here. I'm tracking my PC, and like they've posted, it's on vehicle for delivery somewhere in their local regional sorting center, and it's like I was thinking like my wife when she wants to know where the plow is because we have a plowing like a service right for the driveway. And she can actually go, they've got an online app where you can actually watch the vehicle and it's got the guy's name and you can watch the vehicle move around the neighborhood so you know how far away he is and where he is. Like she watches, he's like one street over. He should be here in a minute or two. So it's not just live updates, but they allow you to live track. Same thing when you get food or an Uber or anything, you can track this stuff. Like we take for granted nowadays how you can do that.
Everything is online. This is why when the A-bots take over, we're done. When the AI bots take over, we have no shot of controlling anything. They're gonna have access to everything. Oh boy. But yeah, everything's connected, Peter. It's just crazy how that works. Everything is connected. All right, guys, looking for the next breakout. What do we have?
Apple went red. It's sitting below previous day close. I haven't talked about Apple in a while, in a hot moment. How's your iPhone charger doing, Carlos?
It's doing pretty good. I got this USB-C. It's doing pretty nice, man. I can't complain. Everywhere I go, there's a USB-C hanging out, by the by the kitchen, by the office, by all the desks. Plug and play. So
okay, that's good.
Apple has always done the opposite of the market. Yeah, it's tend to do the opposite when it comes to technology too. You see the new Samsung commercial with the privacy screen? How nice is that?
No.
Have you seen that one? Yeah, so Samsung's got a phone now where you click privacy and then you can't see the screen anymore. I'm sure Apple's going to come out with that like in 10 years and call it something new. Like, dude, Samsung had it for who knows how long now. They're just always behind on the curve.
So but can the user see it or like?
No, so the privacy
screen.
The privacy screen. No, it creates something where for an angle the screen looks black.
Oh, I see.
So it creates the privacy setting. Yeah. How well does it work? I don't know. I haven't tried it, but
dead on.
Yeah, like dead on. That's how usually privacy screens work. You got to be dead on. They block the peripheral view. And now you could do it digitally, so that's pretty nice. It works. You have it. Okay, so Chris MC has it. Chris MC. I don't know what he did yesterday. He got blocked, but he's back. He's like, "Oh, this is me. Can you check what happened? What I do?" I told him, "Email me. We'll figure it out for you, buddy." So Chris MC is Mr. Hi Ho
Okay.
Po Loey. Good to have you, Chris.
Hoi polloi.
There you
Right.
go.
It's amazing
Works
the things they
perfectly.
can
Good.
do. I was watching I think it was the Canadian The Dragon's Den. Did you see the where he anyways, this developer has developed an app that's where you stand your phone up, like you just stand it vertically on a flat surface, and it'll take a 360-degree panoramic shot. And the way it does that is by it moves the phone. It uses the gyros and the vibration of the phone where it can actually it just vibrates the phone where it'll spin in place without falling over.
Hmm.
You could just on a flat surface. That's amazing. Like the things you
It's
can
wild.
do. It just uses the own internal mechanisms of the phone to rotate the phone in place while taking a series of pictures and can knit it all together to give you a full panoramic shot. That's I thought that was super cool.
It's awesome. Can you send me an email? Absolutely. You can send me an email. Busy day yesterday, so I know I got some emails to get to. If you send me an email yesterday, and I also got some funded accounts to give out today as well from yesterday. I think from
Wait a second.
Friday maybe. So, but you can email me,
Send you an
Carlos
email
at
today.
breadwithtrace.com. What happened?
I think you said send me an email yesterday. So unless they
Oh
can
no
go
no
back in time,
if you
that's
sent
hard
me
to
an
do.
email, yeah, if you sent me an email
Okay.
yesterday, I haven't
All right.
gotten to you yet, but you can always email me, Carlos at
That makes more sense.
breadwithtrace.com, and yeah, let's chat. Let's chat. What is on your mind? NVIDIA. What do you guys think of NVIDIA breakout here above the VWAP? Not our
Yeah,
VWAP breakout,
I'm not
but
certain about it.
looks like it wants to go above this 182.13.
I'm not
Uh,
convinced. I'm gonna wait for my setups. Take them when I find them. But I'm not gonna be goaded into anything today. Damn it! Not falling for it again. And you can't make me, Carlos. You hear me?
I'm not gonna try.
You can't.
I am not gonna force you. I'm not going
I
to.
know. I'm just kidding.
I gotta force you. Friends, if you haven't done so, we will try to force you to hit the thumbs up, but that never works. You know, humans are very funny. If you tell them you cannot do something, they want to do it. If you tell them you have to do this, they don't want to do it. They just want to do the opposite of what they're being told. It's just a human nature. So, I guess don't hit the thumbs up button. Does that do an effect like where you feel like a rebel? Now you want to hit the button and watch us get to like 700
Yeah.
likes? It's just a human thing. Like, don't tell
Whatever
humans
you
what they
do,
can and cannot do.
don't hit that button.
Oh boy, yeah, you're in trouble. You are in trouble.
Yeah.
Here's Nvidia breaking out again.
You can't tell me
Uh,
what to do.
no, humans don't like that. People don't like that. They just don't. Um,
Okay, so Nvidia did pop here a little bit.
yeah, I'm seeing that now. Just wondering if it's gonna continue or not, because we've been stuck in a chop here, and hasn't really done anything. So let's see. Trying.
Well, it's interesting, Carlos. After the big move pre-market,
Mm-hmm.
it's surprisingly flat. I was honestly expecting a little more fireworks. I thought we would get some movement. I didn't know whether it was going to be up or down, but I honestly thought it would move. Like we're not going much of anywhere right now.
Oh, Alice. Yeah, it could be from a early childhood. Yeah, could be from the parents. Who knows? Um, but it is the case, and you see it here, like even in politics, right? Like I remember when when Biden was going to become president, the gun sales in New Jersey took off before he became president. You couldn't find ammunition anywhere. It's just like, he's going to tell us
Really?
not to buy guns. Oh yeah, gun sale permits took off. I mean, it was just incredible. The wait time, because I got it too. The wait time was ridiculous, right? It was like 6 months, because you know they said, hey, you might be able to get one if this guy comes on board, and people are just when they feel that they cannot have something, they want it. So you see it in everything. It's incredible the phenomenon how this thing works. And now that Trump is in office, then you can get a gun pretty easily here, a firearm, no problem. No, but it's dropped. Nobody wants one. Nobody needs it, So, but yeah, it's hashtag Rebel is going to be the
like
the
you
hashtag
say, Murphy's
of the
Law, right?
yeah. It's
Tell
and that's
someone
with
you
everything.
can't.
Oh, that's with everything. I'm telling you, so many things work this way. So there you have it. NBIS choppy, but looking to go green. Macy's did end up breaking out 30 cents above the VWAP here at the moment, about 30 cents.
Yeah.
So let's see. MU. Yeah, MU said VWAP, but man, it looks poor at this VWAP breakout. It doesn't look like it really wants to get going. Um, the common loss of men. Yes.
Oh man, look at the NVIDIA. So did you take the NVIDIA, Carlos? You called it.
I didn't take it, man.
Oh
Yeah,
man, you called the move
I
though.
called it here above 182, and I did not jump the gun. It didn't look convincing. Like it's not my breakout, right? So,
I I
but it didn't
agree.
look
I didn't look
convincing.
convincing to me either.
So,
Yeah.
didn't pull the trigger. Tesla going for 403. That is, what is it? High of the pre-market, I believe. Yes, 403. So a lot of stuff going back towards their high of their pre-markets. Remember, we had that drop into the pre-market, into the market open in the pre-market, had that drop down, and then here recovering pretty nicely, going the other way. Andrew is also long NVIDIA. Andrew did take the trade. Oh, beautiful. He did take it. Look at that. He took it long
Of
here,
course he
partial,
did.
partial. And I believe he's also in Tesla. He should be. Probably taking a partial now. 403 high of the pre-market. So there it is. There it is, friends. Tesla taking a partial. And he added, and partial. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, friends, if you want to see Andrew and Brian trade live, you could do that. BearWithTrades.com. There's Brian sharing his market atlas. And you can switch to Andrew sharing his screen. So there you go. Good stuff. 403. Aranza says he was in NVIDIA and then got out and then it takes off. Typical market stuff. I tell you. Happens to us all the time. Pretty quiet. NBIS above the previous day close. Now it's just going through my secondary list, see what we have here. And I don't see anything, friends. Silver's above the VWAP here, lower volume. This looks like it wants to go higher. We somewhat have a VWAP breakout on this one. Pattern wise looks great. Like this will be our signal here to go long.
Steady riser so far this morning has been AMD, of all things.
Oh yeah, clean.
AMD, yeah. Andrew's on NVIDIA. He's on PLTR. He's on Tesla. So that's Andrew for you.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so MU, yeah, got the pre breakout. Here's the these two will be considered a pullback in this case. So these two kind of the breakout candles, pullback. And then let's see if this one here becomes the breakout, right? Breakout above this area here, 466. Struggling right now. That doesn't look good. It can get green here. Or in the next candle. Struggling here. And SPY's not helping it too. Like if you look at the SPY, a lot of the pullbacks and the move higher have been with the market movement actually, for some part. Right now it seems like it's moving with the market. Market's dropping down, and let's see if MU wants to follow. There it is. Market's making a new low from the last previous candles. All right, 10:03. Not much from me, guys. Just one small trade, one small green trade on Tesla. Man, this could have been nice if we kept the continuation, but Tesla had other plans, and then nothing else after
Tesla,
that.
yeah, it dropped.
Yeah, and look at the 5 minute engulfing as well. When I got out, look at the 5 minute. I did not see this, by the way, when I was trading it, but man, what a nice engulfing that turned out to be. And that's where Andrew got in. Above the VWAP, above the previous day close. So nice. Getting a bit of a turnaround here. NVDA still not budging. MU. Oh, MU's actually looking nice. Back up. Here'll be your signal for the VWAP breakout. I don't like the SPY. I don't like the SPY. I'll be honest. I don't like the SPY's dropping down and MU's going up like this. But MU's making the move. If you're quick enough, you're in here, 465, 83, you're in, and you're up instantly $1. So again, got to be careful with the share size on this one, because you can get $1 very quickly, and you could lose $1 even quick, or two even quicker. So you gotta be very, very careful with the share size. Do not take a boatload. Yeah. Walden, you got in. Ben, you got in. Long MU. Walden loves MU. Who else is in MU? Everybody in MU. All right, let's see if we can get the continuation, because this is what normally happens. You get the initial pop.
Wait.
Oh, great. You get $1. Can it continue? Yeah, Peter?
Andrew's just talking about he's going to turn in the lease on his Lambo and he's going to get a new one. He's going to get
same one, or
a hybrid Lamborghini SUV. That sounds all sorts of wrong to me.
the two should not even go together.
No, that's just what's the point? What's the point of that? Andrew's telling me that he's listening. He's telling me not to start. Come on, man. Get a real car.
Don't start no
Get
problems.
A real car. What's
but the Lamborghini's a real car. Well, you don't like the Lamborghini,
but
huh?
I mean, but for that money, you could buy a fleet of vehicles. Like you could just
like a Ford, like a couple of Ford. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of the cheapest car. Chevys, maybe some Chevys, some Toyota Corollas. Like, what do you want to get?
For the price of the one Lamborghini lease. Sure, you want to go Ford? He could buy himself a fully equipped Ford Expedition. He could get himself a Mach-E and a Mustang, or he could get like one of every type if he wanted, probably for the same cost.
Come on,
it's
ridiculous. You might have Andrew driving around a Ford Expedition. No, come on.
Get a Porsche then, at least a car that like really works.
I don't know, man. Lamborghini's nice.
I don't know.
Or Ferrari.
I don't like the SUVs.
Ferraris are nice. I think a Ferrari would be
as a
awesome.
car, but the SUV, like they don't even stand out. They just look like an SUV. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I'm missing out in life? I am not. I have a 911 turbo, thank you. I'm doing it properly.
Peter is a Porsche boy. He likes his Porsche.
Yes.
Porsche.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. It's a young classic now. I've owned it long enough that it's
A young
become a classic.
classic.
Yeah.
I've never been a Lexus fan. More BMW type of guy.
996 Domini. Anyways, yeah. Since you're asking, hold on, let's see. Where's my get the photo here. Here it is.
Friends, there is
She's
nothing
not flashy,
like...
but she gets the job done. Here's me. There's me on the track.
Nice.
There's me driving on the track. There you go. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's great. You can see all the mud and everything or actually all the rubber. It's one thing I learned about going on the track, man. You can't be precious about your car because all the little bits of tire rubber and everything, it marks the hell out of your car.
Mm.
It's,
What is going on, guys?
most of it you can get off. Wow, look at NVIDIA.
What is
Carlos,
exactly?
you had the call.
I know. Oh, I know.
You know what?
That's
I
painful.
get it. I didn't believe in it either. When you mentioned it, I said, I even said, I don't know. I'm not sure. But wow, look at that move.
That's painful. Yeah, it's painful. Wow. Andrew's in it. He's looking for 183.50. 183.50. He's looking for his next partial up there. He took a partial already at 183.25. And man, what a runner. Tesla kind of got stuck here a little bit. MU. Yeah, AMD's been running all day. We've been looking at live and the die. No, live and then you die. Yeah, live and then you gotta put some capitals in this so we could kind of see it quickly. But live and then you die, live and then you die. That's the word to say. Live and then you die. Yeah, it's AMD ran pretty nice. Pretty nice, man.
Yeah. AMD's, yeah.
Wow.
Over 200 here again. So other than Macy's,
I got left
no
behind.
Trade.
The bus left me. Yeah.
Yep. CRWV.
Yeah.
Another one that's also run here.
CoreWeave. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Atlas showing video long. Yeah, it did. Atlas showed it long. I also saw it here, but I'll be honest, man. I did not trust it. Miles for a cure. I didn't trust it to break on. Man, I should have taken it that trade. Should have taken it above 182. First high of the day would have been maybe a partial for sure. Even here, 182.60. But we missed it. Missed it. Hopefully you guys took it. MU as well. Looks like it's trying to break out here. A little bit slower paced. I know some people took it long here. You did get $1 quickly, and then now it's just struggling to give you more at that 467. But hopefully you're able to survive some of these pullbacks that you're getting there. Looks like it wants to hold on to the 9. The trade desk. I did see that fire baked clay. I did see that on the gappers list this morning, but it was so much on the gappers list down. Again, a lot of stuff in the pre-market. Look how beautiful this looked in the pre-market. Was down today at the VWAP. Does look good actually, yeah. At the VWAP, what would be the situation here? VWAP breakdown, stop loss for me would be 2405. With hopefully a potential target of the low of the day, 2310, at least 2340. See what it does. See what it does.
Tesla's back at VWAP here again. Let's see what it does here.
This one is struggling, man. Might go back down to the previous day close. It is struggling here. If market can make a new low, this can go lower. I never believed in a silver bullet indicator. Silver bullet.
There is no silver bullet. No.
Agnes got excited today, lost, didn't follow my rules and lost 2 trades already. Gotta follow the rules. Yes. Gotta follow the rules. As painful as it is sometimes to follow the rules. It is painful.
Yep.
To like, oh, I gotta stop out, but I know it can go lower. Then you stop out and it goes lower. That sucks. But it's gonna save you. It's gonna save you in the long run.
Yeah.
It is going to save you. Tesla, I don't know, guys. Tesla might be interesting short here. Here's the signal will be at 406, 407. I'm sorry, 475, right in this area. Stop loss. You gotta give it room. I'll give it to 406, 4162. It's $1. Let's do it. Oh, what a bad fill. Right when I decide to do it, it drops. All right, I'm sure Tesla. I'm giving it $1, 40160. I would love $2 out of this. I know it's gonna be tough with the previous day close here. We might not get that. I would love to end at least with some parcels around $2. But let's see. Previous day close, I will take a parcel though, just in case it's gonna be a support area. But here's our setup. It's running. Oh, SPY is helping the heck out of us right now. So yes, SPY is helping us out here. Let's see. Come on. Continue, Tesla. Continue. Let's see. Yeah, that slippage was not nice. There. But that's part of the business. Okay, we all saw the same thing. The SPY saw the same thing. It's just a lot of people that got in front of us when we hit that button. Be important here to get another drop. Let's not pull back. Let's not test our entry. Let's get some cushion from our entry. So let's get this drop going here, Tesla. That's what we would like to see. Here is our 5-minute. We're looking for this previous day close. Let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, you gotta get below 400, I think.
And it's struggling to really break down here. And the SPY's not helping us now. It's just pulling back. I catch so many knives. I should work for the circus. I used to sell knives. You guys remember the company? Is it Cutco? They're still around.
Really? Is that the name of a knife company?
Yeah, Cutco.
It's a great
some
knife
great
company,
knives, man.
Cutco.
And you can only pick them up like you can. They only. It was like a word of mouth. Like they'll be. I was a young kid at that time, going door by door, knocking and trying to sell these knives. And they were expensive knives. They were really expensive, so they cut out a lot of the marketing. They were not in the store, so you can only get them through like these sales representatives. And yeah, I did that for a while.
Right.
And my mom bought some knives.
Okay.
I have some still, and they're really good, really, really high quality stuff, man. But they were expensive.
Yeah, you can get those. I had a buddy that worked. He was actually a vacuum cleaner salesman, believe it or not, for a period of time.
There you go. Yeah.
And he sold Kirby vacuums, and we actually bought one from him. and still have it in the basement. I mean, I've got central vac now, so I don't really need it, but it's still down there. Still works.
Yeah.
Just
The Cutco knives, man, are their scissors are incredible. Like you could cut a penny with the scissor. Like that's how good it was, and stay sharp. I mean, it was high quality stuff. We had this whole thing we did, like they come over to try to sell you stuff, and they show you this double window panel. You can put the light here. You don't feel the heat. This is the window you have. You feel all the heat, so you're losing. Like, dude, what's happening here? So I was one of those guys. It was fun for a little bit. The training was great training. But yeah, it got old pretty quick. Didn't last. But their knives, I still have them. I'm talking about almost 25 years later. Still got some of these knives working.
I don't think anybody does that anymore. Does anybody sell anything door to door? Like, is it the doorbell rings? Everybody's just annoyed now. I just don't think. I don't think there's any
times have
market
changed.
for-
Times
Yeah,
have changed.
for sure.
Here, especially here in the U.S., that's the thing where you don't go to people's houses. And my country is so much different. You actually look forward for people coming over. Here, you come and knock on my house. Did you have an appointment? I'm your brother. I don't care. Did you have an appointment? It's like, what?
I'm your brother.
What is happening?
I don't care if you're my mama.
Can't treat me like that. I show up whenever I want, damn it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
dare you to tell your mama she doesn't have an appointment.
Oh, hell no.
Come back.
She came over last night. I opened the door. And she came over at the not the worst time, but at a rough time because it's a night routine for the kids. It's like 7 o'clock. I got to get the kids down. She came in. She's like, I'm here. Up. Guess get to play a little longer. Mama's here, so she'll come in every time she wants. I ain't saying nothing. Oh boy.
Yeah, Nathan. Well, you know what? If you survive till tomorrow, let us know. You don't tell. Generally, you don't tell Mama. I don't care who you are that she needs an appointment. So.
No way. Wow, Tesla is messing with me, friends. Are you seeing this, guys? Are you seeing just the back and forth trying to cannot break this 400? The longer we stay here, the more concerning it gets. But we're battling. It does not want to break. So people are saying that there's a Cutco representative in Costco. So I wouldn't know because I don't go to Costco. But I guess some people, I could see that.
Carlos,
you
gotta just get with the program, man. You got young kids.
Sounds like
you need take the savings. Take the savings.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Guess I have to do that.
You're missing out.
I asked my wife, do we even have a Costco card? Right, we got to be a member. I don't think we have one. All right, let's see here. Here's the drop. Come on, here's a Tesla. You're looking perfect to drop it right now. This is the moment. Level 2 looks okay. Down at 75. There it is. Come on, let's get down there. I'm just like right at 1R. I probably should take a partial here.
I don't know. It's either going to pop or drop,
weak.
Right? I mean, look at all these uncertainty candles. It looks like it wants to go to previous day close. Like
that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
If you're willing to be a little patient, that's the place to wait for. I think. But
yeah. If the spike can go back to the low, that will give us a little boost of momentum. If the TSS spike, if I can go back to the recent low here, 667, 15 or so, I can give us a little bit of help.
What did you say?
If the spy can drop to 667.
6-7?
6-7. Look at Peter, I got you going. Well, now that's old. Now that's played out already.
My wife did that the other day. I'm like, do not do that. Don't. No, absolutely not. Hard no. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I get it. So I was playing with the kids. I tell my son, 6'7", and he's like, Daddy, we left that in 2025. I'm like, what? So
That's
I'm
see,
like,
just
yeah,
just behind on the
that's
chimes.
behind. So I was like,
Behind.
I'm like,
So far
okay,
behind.
all right, fine. My daughter doesn't care. She's in it to win, and she's running around saying 6'7" all over the place. But my son, no, he's like, no, we left that in 2025. And then he's like, whatever we do this year, we're gonna leave in this year. I'm like, you schooling me on what's cool and what's hip? You're 6 years old.
Well, yeah.
Oh boy.
You know what? And you're 600 in his eyes. So,
To him, oh
that's the way
yeah,
it goes.
but
Yeah.
Asian.
Yeah. So,
Come on, Tesla. I'm gonna take a partial, guys. I just think we're not getting like here. Like, why are you not going right now? Do it.
hmm.
Peter's missing out on life. Not driving.
I don't
I
know.
agree. Now
I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'll be honest, Andrew. I'm not a big fan of the SUV. I think the cars are a lot more slicker. But for everyday use, it's not practical. It's not. I had a sedan. The sedans, they're not practical with the door so long, and every time you go to a parking lot, the door, it hits everything. So no, I'm with you, Andrew. For everyday user, yours is much better than the actual Lamborghini itself. I'm with you. So, um, you know,
Have
as
to
a
admit,
primary car,
I have been
it's
debating getting
nice.
like a car, like a winter car, right? Because in the winter I don't have a car. I just use my wife's
Yeah.
car because we just decided, it just sits around 90% of the time, and most of the time, I'm not driving at the same time as my wife. So we don't need another car, but I've been saying, it'd be nice to have maybe just an extra one. Carlos, it's been a funny thing for me because I've been like, who am I? What's my car personality? What do I want? Do I want a sedan? Do I want an SUV? And there's not a lot of nice sedans out there that I really want to get. Because the problem is, I want a really nice sedan, but I don't want it to stand out because I don't want to worry about it getting stolen. Like I don't want to worry about someone saying, "That's a nice car. I want it." So
Yeah.
I want a super
There's
nice
still cars.
car that I.
There's still cars in Canada. There's still cars in Canada. That doesn't happen. That's
Oh
like the
yeah,
Bronx.
you
That's the
huge.
Bronx
Oh
and
no, no,
Fordham
there's
Road and yeah, that's
no
the thing.
Ottawa's where I am here is bad because what they do is they steal them here and they drive into Montreal to the port and then they put them on
Mm-hmm.
container ships and ship them overseas. I have two neighbors that have been able to find their vehicle by looking at car sale websites in Africa where they're like,
No
"That's my
way.
car." One guy even he's like, "Look, that's my SUV," and they had pictures of the SUV, and they opened the trunk. Like he says, "Those are my golf clubs in the trunk." Like he like not only did he know it was his car, they didn't even bother to take his shit out of it. They're just
No, it comes with it. It
like
comes with it.
that's my golf clubs. They're sitting right there in the trunk. And so he called,
That's
and
wild.
like even the RCMP, right? They said there's nothing we can do. It's outside of Canada. We have no jurisdiction. He's like, but they're posting it like it's my car. And then they're like, yeah, too bad, man. It left the country. It's
Wow, that's
crazy. It's
crazy.
crazy.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
so my point is, I don't want, and even if I'm traveling, like I just don't want to go and have to worry about stuff. So I want a car that's really comfortable, that gives me everything I need, but is not flashy. And I have to admit, the car and then of course, then there's the personality thing. Like I don't think I'm a Mercedes guy. I don't want to drive a Mercedes, really. I just don't know why. It's just not me. Hey, Carlos, you're finally getting the
Hmm.
drop
I,
here.
I
Oh,
I
he
know,
just
but I already
listened.
took a partial. Like I got impatient.
Yeah, okay.
Jeez, I'm gonna take another one
Yeah,
anyway. But
Allison. In that case, it was Africa. Yeah, so I can't remember what country in Africa, but it was somewhere in. But anyways,
oh,
so the car that I realized I believe that I am most comfortable in is a Honda. I've owned four Hondas personally. My wife's owned a Honda, and I'm a Honda Pilot, my favorite car ever, except for maybe my Porsche. But
mm,
my Honda Pilot, favorite car I've ever owned. It just got stuff done. It didn't complain. It was a tank. I'm probably influenced by the fact I actually fell asleep driving that car with the cruise control on at highway speeds. Woke up after I hit the concrete barrier in the center of the highway. And not only did I walk away from that, the only damage on the vehicle was some scraping on the quarter panel, and I had to replace the wheel because the rim bent.
Yeah.
Anyways, that
Oh,
and I think that type of experience that just gives you faith. Oh my God, look at Tesla now. Jeez.
can I do the Andrew arms? I barely do the Andrew arms. Today I'm doing the Andrew
Do
arms.
it. Do it, man. There you
I'm doing the
go.
Andrew arms. I don't
Oh,
care what anybody
yeah.
says.
Put it
Let's
behind your
go.
head. Put it behind your head. Ah, you
He does
got
like this.
the rest. Look at that. You got the move. That's beautiful.
Oh, wow, guys. Awesome. Tesla. Amazing, amazing. All right, good job, Tesla. Love it, love it, love it. Hondas are great, man. Hondas, they last forever. We have a Honda in the family that's like, who knows how many years old, and the thing just runs. We won't turn around for like a week, and it just turns on and goes, you know.
Yeah.
It's more of a burden to have it, but for some
The
reason we don't get
problem
rid
is-
of it. It's just weird. Like, we don't need it, but it's
It's a
there. It's
burden
like we
to
can't
have
get rid. Yeah, it is because the battery goes dead. You got to give it a booster sometimes, and so old, you know. But we just keep it. Like my brother had it. I had it for a while. Now my dad has it in his house. Just it's like the floater, it's like the Honda floater. I don't know.
I guess if you ever need an extra car, that's where you got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a funny thing. Like I have to admit, I assign personalities to a car. So I agree with you guys. So many people are Mercedes fans, and I get it. And Mercedes are hit or miss. So you can get super reliable ones, and then sometimes you get lemons, right? So there is that risk sometimes. Mercedes has got that problem, but so do BMers. BMWs are like that, and especially if you get their high end, the highly tuned ones. Sometimes they just last forever. Other times, nothing but problems. But anyways, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the personality that goes with it. I'm not a BMW person. I'm not a Mercedes person. I'm absolutely not a Jaguar person. But it's
Oh,
one of those
Jaguar.
where
Ah.
and I don't know why, but I in my head
Yeah.
I've got a personality that goes with it, and it's not fair because most of the people I see driving them are not that personality necessarily. But I can't help it. I'm like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
See, what is a Mercedes person? See, that's they're a little full of themselves. They want people to see them, but they don't want the comments. They just want people to see them and acknowledge their superiority.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's my stereotype of a Mercedes person. I know it's just a car. See, but I know that, but I can't help it. I still have that personality, right? You're mid-age. Jaguar personalities are, generally they're like they feel they own the road and they don't even bother to signal when they change lanes. They're like random drivers. You're either like 92 and you finally got the Jaguar that you always wanted, or you're younger and you're an ass. That's my perception of a Jaguar.
That's funny.
Land Rover is you either own a country estate or you mentally aspire to own a country estate.
Yeah.
BMW.
I like the BMW.
See, BMWs. Oddly,
Careful now.
BMW's okay.
I'm a BMW guy.
But here, well, see, but here's the thing. See, BMW in my area, BMW is you're a young professional and you lease the BMW for the first like 2 or 3 years, and then you sell it, and some ass kid gets it who thinks he can afford it and then can't afford the maintenance, and they go to shit. They rust out, they go to crap, they don't maintain them because they don't have enough money, because they buy it thinking they can maintain it like a Civic, and you can't because they're just more expensive to operate. That's what happens here. So the first 3 years of a BMW's life are good. It's a young professional. They're just getting on with their business. They want to have a good car, but they don't necessarily want to show off. But unfortunately, all of those, when it comes off lease, then it goes to the young kid that just is an ass and, puts resonating mufflers on it and all sorts of stupid stuff. Under lights. That's what happens in my area. So, yeah. See, I can tell you, I'm just being honest with you. This is my perception of car personalities. And it's just based on my own
It's
Honda
own stuff
people.
you
Honda,
have created in your head.
yeah.
And some of it might be
exactly, that
true.
I've invented.
And some of it
I've
might be
invented
true.
it in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
A Honda is like any man USA, any man Canada, and any woman Canada. Anybody can own a Honda. It's just you're like I don't care. It's just an appliance. It's a reliable appliance
Gets
that
the
gets me
job
from
done.
A to B. I don't care if it looks good. I don't care if it looks bad. I just want things to work. Just get me there. I got more important things in my life. That's a Honda person.
Yeah, yeah. And they look all right, man. They have the style that goes over centuries, man. Like
Some are okay.
not centuries, decades.
I
You
have
know.
never. There's very, very few flashy Hondas. They've got a
Yeah,
couple, but not many. Really, it's yeah. A Honda basically says, I don't give a crap.
yeah,
It's just
yeah. All
Toyota
right,
personalities
friends.
are similar, in my opinion. But Toyota has two sides to their personality because there's the Corolla personality, right? Where you can also put the Sienna minivan in there and a couple where it's like, it's like I don't really care. I just need a car that gets me to A and B, and I never have to worry about it for the rest of like, my known existence. But then
Yeah.
you've got the rugged side. You got the Toyota Tundras and the Highlander and that side where they say, I aspire to go off road, but I actually don't know where there's a gravel road. That's my perception of that side of the Toyota personality. I think I want to go off road, but I can't actually find one. So I'm going to go buy flowers at the garden center. I like how everybody's asking about different cars. Now they want my opinion on everything. Just because they want to know. It's probably the car that they have.
What
So.
they want to know? What does Peter think of me and my
I
car?
know. It's exactly. Yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
boy.
that's you are entertained? That's what I'm here for. Because I'm not actually taking any trades. I haven't seen anything set up yet. So other than that Macy's trade early on, Carlos, I got to give you credit. You got in well on that Tesla. So look at that VWAP
Yeah, yeah. Took
breakdown.
a partial down here, and I see
Yeah,
some of
of
you
course you did.
guys, were
Yeah.
in as well. So very nice. And hopefully you took advantage of this move. Now, one person said he got out completely, which I get. Right, this might be the entirety of the move, at least for right now. So I get it. Why you get out all here and just take your wins, while you can. So good job. I still got some left. And it was so funny. Every time I took a
So
partial, Peter, it dropped lower. Took a partial, it dropped lower. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop partially, and I was able to take advantage of this move here. But every partial just kept pushing the price down. I'm like, man, and be more patient. But yeah, can't complain. Great move. We still got some left here. Let's see where it goes.
Tesla. People want a Tesla personality. So Tesla's personality has changed over time. My perception, again, this is all just Peter's view, so it doesn't count for anything. But originally, Tesla personalities were, I want to be on the bleeding edge. I'm not quite sure if this thing is going to work, but I'm getting it, and it was really cool. I actually really like Teslas. I thought they were super cool. Unfortunately, the personality has changed over time. Now Tesla is, you know what? And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, but I'm going to get this for my spouse because I'm not confident they actually know how to drive. So I'm going to get them this car so that hopefully they can use the autopilot a little bit because they're not that good of a driver. Now, that's for all Teslas except the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is a totally different personality. That personality is, wee, look at me. Look at me. No, look here. Look at me. Hello. Pay attention to me. That's a Cybertruck. And then, of course, there's John. John Hiltz is going to get mad at me because he's neither of those. Because of all things, he moved from a Subaru to a Tesla, which is a little weird. Corvette. I don't have a strong opinion about Corvettes, to be honest. Uh, Corvette's been around for so long that I think it's one of the few cars that I think it's got its own thing. You can make a Corvette anything you want it to be, which might sound weird after I've had all these opinions. Because I got a buddy across the road that's got a vet, but it's the low end Stingray. But I do like their racing stock or some awesome cars. The Z series, the Z series, as you call them in the U.S. Awesome vehicles. And then you get the classics. Oh my God, you got the split window 60s version Corvettes. There's some awesome Corvettes out there. So I think a Corvette is, I want something fun to drive, and I don't really care how practical it is. I have to admit, there's not a
Uh,
lot of Corvettes in Canada because they're just super unpractical, right? They don't work. You
yeah.
can't drive them in the winter. The rear wheel drive is problematic. So It's bad of
Uh,
a daily driver. I could see it. The Z06.
the
Yeah, it's
Corvette.
just funny because I've never run into, again, maybe because there's not a lot of Corvettes in my area. I know that personality exists out there, the asshole driver for Corvettes, but I've never run into one, frankly. Everybody who I've seen driving a Corvette drives like they're afraid of breaking it, I feel like. They all drive so
Mm,
carefully.
mm, mm.
Or maybe they're afraid of someone else running into them. But now Mustangs are a whole different thing. Mustangs are,
It's a whole different
but,
animal.
but anyway, a whole different animal. Anyways.
Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. We are sitting at a show is right under 400. Let me refresh to see what that really is. But yeah, let's take a look. 401. Awesome. So I was going to say let's get to 400, but you got us there. So let's get to 450. Why not? Let's get to 450. Help us get there. And I just want to remind you guys, we are going to be live later for the Fed announcements, right? So let me give you a link. I want you guys to go to this link and hit. Want you to hit remind me, right? So it's gonna be right here on YouTube. Peter, you're coming on with me for that at 150 actually.
I didn't even know we were doing it, but you bet. I'll be here. Why
All right,
not?
let's do it.
Sure.
We'll do our initial commentary, the reaction, market reaction, then we're actually going to stream Powell live right through here, and then we'll have a little commentary after. So we'll keep watching how the market reacts. And then we'll get to see you in action, Peter, on your later to see if you have any later trades in the day, because I know you do trade.
Yeah,
You know,
no kidding. I
your
hope so.
yeah, the morning part is not really it's very new to you relative to what you do regularly. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried. Everything's moving sort of. It's just sitting in this narrow range right now, so we're not getting a lot of movement, which is problematic. I like how like I just keep looking. Everybody's like, "Do this car, do this car." What do you think about this car?
so Peter's gonna have to do a separate video with all the cars.
I know all the cars.
Oh
Dodge. I
boy.
see the Dodge. What about Dodge? Yeah, I see Dodge.
Yeah.
I have a problem with Dodges. Dodges are somebody said I've got an amount that I can spend for a month, and I'm gonna try and buy the best equipped car for the lowest monthly price. But I forgot to look how much the car is actually going to cost me in the end and how long it's going to last. So basically, a Dodge owner is I wanted a cheap car that looks sort of decent, but I forgot to do my research. And 3 years from now, I'm going to be wearing, driving something that's got rust holes in it, and that's costing me more in repairs than it's worth. Anyways, all right. I'm getting myself into more trouble the deeper we go.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Dominic, 14 trades ended up break even. Lovely. That's a lot of trading, but glad you are at break even. But hey, some days are like that. Some days are like that. We had those days where it's just nothing seems to work. But yeah, glad you're at break even. And hopefully you can keep it that way or green, right? But military guys, yeah, all the military guys drive Dodge. It's government vehicle, right? They buy American vehicles here at least, and they're always in that Dodge. And if I see a Dodge, usually has the U.S. government plates on the back. So, government vehicle. They got some kind of contract there. Yeah, I thank you, man. It's a great short VWAP breakdown. I mean, I got to take a screenshot. This is classic VWAP breakdown for us here, and turned out really nice. The SPY did help us with this move, right? So we'll note that as well when I do my journaling. And I'm just waiting to see if we're gonna get another move. If we wait too long here, I'll take another partial. Just because I don't want to bring anything back up really above 399 or above the previous day close. I'll get all out if we get up there, right? So I'm not bringing anything back up there. So, but yeah, great trade. We had a first one here, first breakdown, got a small green and then stopped out just above break even. And then this one delivered here. So very nice. Yeah, so I put the link out there, guys, the YouTube link. If you go there, you just click on remind me later so you get alerted and notified when we go live again at 1:50 p.m. later today. So make sure you do that, and we'll love to see you guys a little bit later for the Fed Powell minutes. And yeah, Peter?
I'm watching CoreWeave up here. CoreWeave is actually good for a reversal back to the VWAP. Unfortunately, I saw it a little late, so I don't like the risk to reward. So I'm not getting in it. I haven't got in it, but because it's been sitting below 84, just below. Now it's dropped 30 cents here, but again, I couldn't get in with a good risk to reward, so it's a shame. If I could have seen it around 84.20, I would have jumped into this. I was hoping it
Yep.
was going to give me another bounce before it dropped, but it looks like I've missed the boat on this one. So there's a missed opportunity. What has Andrew sent me?
Hello, sir. How are you doing? I am doing
Good,
great.
good. How are
I
you,
am
my friend?
um how's trading for you guys?
Good. Great trade on Tesla this morning. A beautiful short on it, and we saw
Nice.
your long trade on Tesla too. You actually got in when I got out, right? So on that long,
Yeah,
and yeah, good stuff.
it was a good trade. Yeah. So the Tesla was really good. We traded twice. I get stopped at one time, and then the next trade would turn out to be really nice with a couple of really nice ads to that with the help of Market Atlas. And um, and then we traded NVDA, which was also really nice for the breakout. Again, with the help of Market Atlas, you can guys see it was a really, really nice. So that was great. Great trading day. We had a really nice day. Brian also had a couple of really good trades. I don't remember exactly what he traded at. Peter, I know you don't like Lamborghini, but come to the right side of history. I think it's best for you. All right. Any question, guys, in the YouTube about the trades that we did? How was everyone's trading?
It's been quiet for me. I think we had a couple of good trades. Some members here traded some good options. And Carlos got a great trade. He got a great short on Tesla. So actually, he's had two good trades this morning.
Yeah. So somebody's asking about the orders in Market Atlas. So the orders are Market Atlas. You're looking for the big orders on one side. If you have big orders on both sides, then you probably it's an indecisive Market Atlas. You can't really make a decision about which direction it goes. Like right now, Tesla, for example, as you see in my screen, it's very obvious that we have big orders to the downside. But if you zoom out a little bit and you see big orders at 399 as well, so that's kind of like indecisive. So you really hard to say which direction it goes. You really want to go into the very clear direction. So. Concretely research, Carlo is publishing a lot of papers. Not all of them are with me. So if you're interested in his work, just follow Carlo on SSRN or his website. Oh, sorry, I have the Benzinga going on, so sometimes you can hear it from me. So no, these are the real number of the shares, Martini. I don't think they are the lot.
What do you think the chances are to hit previous day low? You have no idea.
My trade was pretty good. So two trades, very profitable. I already have this is the position that I have. I have some Microsoft puts that I'm hoping to expire by the end of today. So as long as Microsoft stays above 395, I'm good. So right now it's just right at 395. So we are hoping that, but overall the day trading was really good. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, there is a replay feature is coming soon. So the replay, I'm testing it today. So we have the replay feature. So you can go into the replay mode at that day and run it in different speeds. So it would be really nice. Up to 2 weeks. We don't have the bubbles, but we have all the levels.
Tesla, no.
Yeah, Tesla was a great trade. So I had one loss on Tesla at the open. So, I had this loss at the open, but it came back up. So I went long and I added 3 times on it. So it was a really nice from 399 to 403.
Kind of in a tough spot on the Q buy right now.
Nice.
I think Tesla's gonna basically just trade with the market for the most part.
Nice. Adam Beluga. Now you're just trying to get me in trouble. All right, so watching.
Sorry, go. Sorry, go ahead,
Just gonna
Brian.
watch core weave here, guys. Like I said, good topping pattern there. I didn't see it till a little bit too late. Couldn't get the risk to reward, so I'm not in it. But still, it's setting up very well. So I like that topping move. That's the type of stuff I look for later in the day. You
Nice.
can see how it retested 3 times. That's where you want to get short with a stop over the high of the day. So good pattern there.
But you're right, it's you're kind of just waiting for, I think, that press conference.
What else we got here? It's a lot of stuff's just going back to its mid-range, isn't it? Like look at NVIDIA. It's just the VWAP and the previous day close are almost at the same spot, and it's just hanging out there. AMD, after a good initial run, is hanging out mid-range. And MU, not a surprise. MU, don't forget, has earnings after the close tonight, everybody. So, I normally expect stocks that are trading into evening earnings to just move sideways over the course of the day, right? The big money is going to be waiting to see what the earnings are before they take it in a direction. That being said, we've seen a few of these stocks move quite well on the day of their earnings. So, but MU looks like it's back in an old pattern. It's a tough one, right? Price to perfection with all the rises it's seen over the last few months. It's going to be hard to move MU upwards, no matter what the earnings are. That's my opinion, but we'll see what happens. And don't forget, we are going live again back at 2:00 because we've got the Fed rate announcement. So it's really just a single announcement. We'll have to go live a little bit before 2:00. Hopefully, we'll see you here at that time or back in the channel. And it'll be an interesting one. The commentary is probably going to be more interesting. Everybody is expecting. I think we're at 98.9% of the sort of average expectation is that there's going to be no change to the interest rate. So if it comes out anything different than no change, the markets are going to react quite violently. But I don't expect that to happen. And then the more interesting movement is probably going to be on the Powell Q&A session, which will be happening sometime shortly after 2:30.
So most of my losses are actually coming in the first 5 minutes. So a lot of somebody's asking about the losses. Most of my losses are happening usually in the first, 5 to 10 minutes, and that usually the trades that I find after that is profitable. Even today, for example, you see the Tesla that I traded in the first one, the 1 minute open range breakout, I got to stop out, but after that I made money. Same as NVDA. The trade that I did at 940, 950 actually worked. So most of my trades are in this huge volatility scalp at the open. Um, and there was another question, and I only trade until like 1 hour in the morning. Like I don't really take any other trade now, unless some really great volatility comes in, like Fed's meeting. So if the volatility comes in, I'll take that trade. But I generally don't trade that much after 10:30, 11.
Go. Andrew's definitely an open specialist.
Yeah. And Peter, did you take any trade or no? You're
I
not.
took one trade on Macy's actually early this morning. I went short with a rising devil setup. You can see it sort of popped up to the VWAP. I went short, got a partial, but it didn't continue. It didn't continue to go to lower, and then it started to chop, and then it stopped me out when it popped higher. So it wasn't that big of a trade, but followed my rules. I do like that rising devil, something that Brian initiated, and I now trade with him. So. Adam, you're going to keep asking me to describe what a Lambo person is. So, Andrew, we got into this whole car discussion because you were talking about renewing your lease or getting a new one, I guess. Getting a new Lambo.
Yeah, I got a new one Friday. So it's a hybrid SE model. So it's much stronger. And interior is yellow, and I'm gonna get the exterior yellow as well. So I pick it up on the
Oh,
Friday.
you'll be driving a big bumblebee.
I know it's just it's like such a waste of money.
And yet you went and got a new one.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I need a car, and I can afford it, but I'm not using it, and I know it's such a waste. So I'm in a very weird situation. So I said, okay, I'll take another one for 2 years, but we'll see.
That's funny. Okay, well, here's one again.
Bumble. It's called Bumblebee. So
NVDA.
SPY is really finding a bottom here at the nearest 4666, which is the devil number. Everything else is going down, PLTR, NVDA. So Tesla really break down. So market might not want to do anything until the Fed's meeting at 2 p.m., which we're gonna go live again, yes?
Yes, we are.
Crude hitting 98.67 at the highs of more than 3%.
Foods. You can buy multiple on that account. That's totally okay.
I'm not sure why you'd want multiple at the same time. That would probably be inefficient.
That doesn't make sense, but yeah, you can do it.
I suppose you could, yeah.
Wait, but at the same
So yeah,
time, I think it did it change that? Because I know it used to cancel you out if you did a new account.
yeah, the system the way that it works, if you buy multiple times, it will reset the previous one. So it's gonna tell you even give you the notice.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
Not at the
Yes,
same
if you
time.
did it with totally different accounts and different emails and everything, and
Oh, well,
yeah,
yeah,
then
you
it
could
gets
do that.
difficult to
Yeah.
manage. I mean, but why go through all that effort? I mean, because you're just going to be splitting your trades between different accounts, and that's going to just make it more challenging, right? Because you're unlikely to put all the winning trades in one and the losing in the other. It's just going to end up splitting them up, which I don't think is going to be very effective. But
Lovely.
all right, still watching Core Weave. Still watching it. Carlos, you still hanging out there in Tesla?
Yeah, I did take another partial in case it pops
Okay.
back up because it's kind of stalling here.
Yeah.
So just kind of hanging out and seeing what's next. I'm seeing Nvidia go up and down above the VWAP now. So
Yes,
that one is very active.
NVDA. NVIDIA is trying to come back up. It's kind of AAOI was really hot at the open. We didn't trade that, but it went all the way up to 100 and then dropped 92. That was crazy.
All right, guys, we're just keep an eye on the market here, looking to see what's moving and grooving. It's sort of the quiet period, at least for my trading. This is what I consider the quiet period when things just don't. I'm waiting for my trades to set up.
All right, Tesla looks like it's breaking down again. Tesla looks like it's breaking down. S3 at 397. Market is really anxious. It looks like market is really anxious for the Fed's
The rate.
meeting.
Yeah, could be. Again, there's been so much uncertainty in these markets recently. Sort of not of a surprise that it's going to be a little cautious going into this. Again, there's not expected to be any surprises, but maybe Powell's angry. I don't think he's He doesn't have the sole vote. It's a committee-based vote. So all his
Microsoft.
lawsuits got dismissed. So he should be in a good mood.
Which lawsuit against which company?
No, against Powell, the ones that
The investigation,
feds.
yeah. The
Oh, yeah.
Justice Department
Investigations.
investigation, yeah.
Yeah.
So how is it possible? Like if a grand jury already indicted, how does the judge can say no? Isn't it that jury has priority over a
I
judge?
don't think it was a grand jury. I think
No,
it
it was
was
not a grand jury.
it was
They were bringing up the
just bought by
case.
the
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it was a grand jury. I'm sure it was a grand jury. So the way that it works is the prosecutors present the case to a grand jury, and the grand jury says, yes, there is a probable cause for prosecution. And the defense even doesn't need to be there. As long as a grand jury says, okay, we think there is a case, they can bring the case.
Okay.
But
The
when
judge
it goes into the
disagreed.
trial, obviously jury comes and then jury make the final decision, guilty or not guilty.
I don't know. I mean, all I know is the
But
judge dismissed it,
yeah, the
saying the
judge
case didn't
dismissed
have
it.
merit. I
Yeah,
don't
there
know
was
how the
no
process works.
there was no evidence. He said no real evidence here for what you accuse him of.
No, all right. So I guess the doesn't apply to powerful people.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
it's not the me and you of the world, right? This is much different.
Uh, So the Canada inflation number came at 1.8%. That means that it's even lower than target. Canada is slowly getting into the deflation, not healthy inflation. Yesterday, I went to a restaurant, a really nice restaurant at 5:36 p.m. And that restaurant is always you have to have a reservation. It's also, more rich people, more high-end business people are going. Even that restaurant was half empty in that time. And again, this is only the people who do not have financial problem. But surprisingly, that one was also really half empty. So that was interesting. So people are really.
Is it possible it's not trendy anymore? Is that why?
I don't know. Some restaurants are always trendy because the way that is working, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I don't know why. So it seems to me that people are a little bit cautious about their spending. So even rich people, like I have no financial problem, but I'm a little bit anxious about the war that's going on and just a little bit of a sentiment of people about the future of the economy. I feel that there is an anxiety going on, at least around people around me.
That's fair.
On that, on yours. Right, yeah. Right.
But maybe I'm wrong. So
It doesn't seem to be there anymore. It used to be there, now it's just the only option. There you go, now you're back.
yeah, so I still have family in Iran. My mom is still in Iran, and she's good. She's in a north of Iran. There's a resort town, resort city. So NVDA is coming up. I'm gonna get backlog on NVDA just to get a trade together in the community. See if it goes back to 183. So 183, there's a big order on Atlas. So as you see here, so I see this big order at 183. So interested to really go. Let's see if you can actually get to 183. Oh, there you go. It's popping up. Oh, there you go. So let's see. 183 is going up. Nice. Here we go. Gary's coming.
Getting support from the
Oh, there you
market
go.
there, so that's
NVIDIA is
good.
going up 183.
There you go, 183.
There you go, 183. Let's see if you can go for the high of the day. SPY is bouncing back as well. So there is some buying right now is coming. So now the market access orders are at 183.20. So let's see again. I'm looking at based on market access as well. So if you can see toward 183.20. So you can through 5. And 183.50, there's some orders up there. So really looking forward to get to that.
Have a good day.
Goodbye, Richard. Thanks for staying. Shifted to 185.
My flight got rescheduled, so
Nice.
A little pullback here.
Let's see if NVDA can hold it.
Hold it. Hold.
Hold the line. Hold the line.
Okay. Are you gonna leave the camera? Yeah, I'm gonna grab some right here.
I can hear the chat room going on behind you there.
Oh, really? Oh, I can make it a
That's
little bit
okay.
better.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it
okay.
was.
Doesn't sound bad at all.
It's not bad. It's just good to know there. I hear Paris and Brian. We're having a chat.
Yeah. Shit, NVIDIA is bouncing back. Let's see if NVIDIA can hold it. It looks like the whole market is trying to. Let me see if NVIDIA. I'm adding a little bit more on NVIDIA here. Might be. Nice. Let's see if we can after market atlas at 182.20. We have some order at 182 too, so it's kind of indecisive. And as you see, it's the time of the day that it can be really choppy. So I really don't think necessarily go long, but we'll see. 183. Couple of $100 extra would be nice. Carlos, did you do the funder account?
No, haven't done it yet.
Not yet.
So maybe do the funder account. Hashtag, I don't know. Hashtag Lambo.
Lambos.
Lambo.
Lambo. Hashtag Lambo. That's what we got to
That's
do
a
today.
great.
Yeah.
That's
Come
a
on,
great
man.
one. Yeah, I like
Because
that.
Come on.
Lambo.
After all this conversation, yeah. The only
All right,
option.
let me set it
Hashtag
up.
Peter doesn't like
Don't
that.
put it in yet, guys. If you put it in yet, Carlos hasn't set it up. It won't count. So just wait.
Lambo. All right, here we go.
Carlos will give us a signal. You're good?
And it's on. There it is.
All right. Here
It
it
is set.
Lambo.
And go, everybody.
Hashtag Lambo. Let's do this. I see Peter did it. I'm gonna do it myself. Hashtag Lambo.
Yeah.
See if I win. All right, let's bring this over. All right, they're coming in nicely.
You know we're just gonna redraw if we win, but
It's
still want.
it's
still
just
wanna win.
bragging rights.
Yeah,
It's just bragging
exactly.
rights that we won. That's really
Yeah.
it.
That's all I want. Yeah.
Right. Somebody welcome. Somebody joined. Make sure to do the hashtag.
Yes, guys,
Yeah.
welcome. Mess Aug C2E joined earlier. Adults wasting time. I like that name. Welcome. Lambos and Garbage family. Adults wasting time. YouTube is like the number one, as I read on Bloomberg, like the number one media source now. Like it's getting over legacy media and all these older, like big broadcasting channel. Bloomberg is spending so much time on YouTube. They're investing so heavily on their YouTube channel and their broadcast. So it's funny how they're going away from TV, regular, channel 5 to YouTube being such a big part of that broadcasting business. There's a lot happening there. 143 entries, friends. Let's take a look here. The winner is let's take a look. We'll make this chat live. There it is. All right, here goes. Winner for today.
It's congratulations.
It goes to J-B7T. J-B7T.
one of Elon's
one of Elon's
kids.
robots.
I'm kidding. Kidding. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yes.
JB7J.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Yes.
J7T.
Congrats.
There you go.
I got out on NVDA some. I put some order at 183.50, which is the near high of the day. So that is also an order that is up there. We'll see where we can get that.
Andreas, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Truck family. Great to have you. And yeah, good to see you there. Thanks for joining. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. So good luck, guys, tomorrow.
Yep. We'll keep doing it. Hey, welcome. Yeah, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Trucks. Always good to have new members as part of the channel. And I'm still waiting for a trade that CoreWeave, by the way, did, in case anybody wasn't really following it, it did pop up. It would have stopped me out. Again, I wasn't in it, but that's what I was watching. So that type of move is exactly the type of move I like to see. It did, as Andrew was entering the NVDA trade, actually, as the market was moving, CoreWeave also popped up to a new high of day. So that's the stoppage point. And, NVIDIA, speaking of which, is getting stuck here.
Yeah, Tesla's coming back up. I did take a partial earlier. I might get all out now. Move might be over. So yeah, makes no sense for what I have left to actually hold it here. So just gonna, here it is, friends. Here's the tray. I'm just gonna take everything off here. What are you saying, Peter? You think that I should hold it?
No, I just, well, you got two levels right together here. Obviously, you got the 400 level, which is, are you in over 400? You are, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the previous day close. If it holds below the previous day close, you might be good for it to go all the way back to the low of day, but it's.
Yeah, let's see. There's no rush. There's no rush. What's the rush? Let's wait.
Yeah.
You're right.
We're going to be back at 2. If nothing else, you could just put a stop on, Carlos.
That'd be great to come back at 2 and still have this
going lower.
That'd be
great if
lower.
you're still in it.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
All right, let's hold it. We'll keep our stop at break even. We don't have a lot left, but it'll be nice to see it go lower.
All right, so I'm still long on NVIDIA, guys. So I got out some. So
yeah, see that there. Nice breakout.
Alrighty. Are you trading anything, Carlos?
I'm still in Tesla from earlier. So here's my trade from earlier. We had initial trade short, partial stopped out, then back short here below the VWAP, and we partial. We got this nice drop. The SPY helped with that a lot. So partial here, took another partial, then we have a little bit left. We'll see if the market wants to go lower, but we'll get out. If it gets 400, we'll get out of that. But yeah, nice trade on Tesla. Treated us well today.
I'm glad that worked. It was a good trade.
Yeah.
You got again the two good ones here, so I think that's a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day. Yesterday we had NBIS short. That also was nice. So we've been within the chop. We're getting opportunities, guys, and it just takes a little more patience. That's all.
Alrighty. Guys, give a like to Peter because he's so behind of car industry. Make it to 500 likes because he's so behind.
Oh my goodness.
Like this video because he doesn't like Lamborghini.
Oh man, that's
All
funny.
right.
I can see Peter with what's the Drake the rapper, if you guys know, where he has the meme where he goes Lamborghini, he goes like this, and then Ferrari, Porsche, I guess he goes like this. Yeah. We need one like that from Peter.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh boy.
All right, let's see if NVDA can break. Let's see if NVDA is breaking breaking toward 183.50. So I have the order sitting up here.
That's a great question. Who's asking this? A Tuye Martini. What's better, 50K funded account or a normal $10,000 trading account? It really depends on your experience. And I think if you're a new trader, the funded account, spend the $299 for the funded account and see if you can actually take that account and grow it and get a payout. And if you do it once, if you keep the money, if you could do it twice, then I think you're ready to trade your $10,000 account. Now, in the US, there are restrictions with the $10,000. Keep in mind, you can day trade or you can with the funded account. You don't have the PDT restriction, right? So $10,000, depending where you're trading here in the US, you're going to have the restrictions that you can't do the in and out like you would with the funded account. But,
I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, just to maybe a slightly different perspective, I would say 100%, to my mind, without question, the funded account is better. Because if you've got $10,000 in a trading account, right, you're not going to be able to trade more size than you would have in the 50K funded account. So you might as well trade exactly like you would in the funded account, like you would in the trading account. And if you lose money, well, you don't lose money, right? You just lose whatever the cost is of the funded account. And you would save that loss from your $10,000 funded account. If you make money, well, Andrew's going to pay you whatever you make. And if you manage to double it, well, now you got another 10 grand. Now you can start trading live with a $20,000 funded account. And it's just added to your portfolio. If you only make 4 grand, well, then you're going to put 4 grand into, now you got a $14,000 funded account, right? So, and you might want to even do it in a funded account a couple of times in a row to build up your initial capital. There's a point at which you might want to trade live money because now you'll be able to trade more size, assuming you've got the confidence and you're going to be able to trade the same way, but you've also proven yourself. So why not go with a funded account? I mean, it's your lowest risk option. And
let's look at the negative side, right? Because it's always so easy to look at the positive side, you making money and getting a payout. But let's say you don't. Let's say you end up blowing up. You end up breaking your rules. Then you find out 2 things. 1, you're not ready. And 2, you're only going to lose $299. You're not going to lose $3,000 from your $10,000, which brings you down to 7. And as we all know, when you lose $3,000 from your $10,000, to make that up is 10 times harder to get back to that 10. So it's a win-win with the funded account, man. Really, whether you win or lose, it's a win-win because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to save yourself some money that you normally would lose on your account. So definitely try it out. Again, when me and Peter started, we didn't have these options. We wish we had stuff like this when we got started. We would have saved so much money. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And we know it sounds self-serving because obviously it's our account, but this is the exact reason why we set it up, or why Andrew set it up, right? And he's been an advocate of this all along because we want to encourage people to learn how to trade in a safe environment. We want to create a community of traders for the long term, so you can trade for life, right? And really, the best way to do that is do it in an area where you can, take advantage of the upside without suffering the risk of the downside while you work out your own. Your approaches and your own rules. That's what the account offers you.
So question on that funded account, FTMO. I don't know any prop firm, and so I don't know how they work. Prop firm works a little bit different, right? And they're not bad. They're good for what they're able to do. You can go in. Some of them can give you a payout for a week. Every 2 weeks, you could take out whatever you make right away. That's good if you're looking to make a quick hit. You want to make some money. You could go to blackjack tables, or you could do a prop firm account. They're good for what they're set up to do. But if you want to learn how to trade your own account eventually, the funded account is going to be better for that, right? Because now you're locked in for 90 days of trading. You got to keep the money you make. It's very easy to go to a prop firm, make a couple of $1,000s, take it out, and let's say you're good. But to have a funded account where now you have to last 90 days to keep the account you make and not mess it up and not blow it up, this simulates more what a real account is going to look like going forward. So I think that's the big benefit. There's 2 different things. They're both not bad. They're made for different type of traders. You're looking to trade your own account eventually, the funded account is going to be better for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you make money in the funded account, there is no guarantee that you actually make money in real accounts. But if you can't make even money in a funded account, then there's absolutely guaranteed that you're not making money in live trading.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so NVDA is coming back to my break-even point. So I'm getting out of NVDA. It was a quick, $100 profit, and I'm canceling my order. Another thing is that, guys, if you have an order up there and you close your position, you have to cancel the order. Otherwise, you get short if it comes out because that order is already out in the market. So yeah, it looks like it's not really much going on until the Fed's meeting at 2, and then the
Yep.
2:30 um, we're gonna do another live. So and then the statement comes at 2, and then 2:30, I think the quick Q&A comes. The Q&A usually is really important if the Federal Reserve says something important. And usually the outlook is important. Like they already know that what the rate is going to be, but the outlook, the dot, that chart that they have, and they say, okay, we think in the future it's going to go up or we're going to go low. So the tone of hawkishness or dovishness of the Federal Reserve usually impacts the market. So everybody knows that the rate is going to be what right now.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll
Agreed.
be on at 150 because we want to see the decision and how it reacts to the market. So guys, 150 will be live here just 10 minutes before the decision is released, and then look at the market, and then at 2:30 we'll stream the FOMC. Should be fun.
Yeah. So and you see, I can share you can share my full screen here. So what you can see is this is called the Fed Watch tool that CME Group is publishing. So for today, everybody knows 100% that almost everybody agree 100% that rates is going to stay at between 350 to 375 basis point. And then for the futures meeting, there's also a speculation that again for the next one in April, people think they stay not changing. And a lot of people, still believe that it's going to be that. Some people bet they're lower, some people bet they're higher. And then as you go in different times, so for the June meeting, now some people, about 16% of the people are betting that we might actually get a lower rate, but majority of the people are still, let me zoom in a little bit, so you can guess. Again, the majority of the people can see. And you can go all the way down like to September. And now in September, it's kind of 50-50. Some people, 50% of the traders are betting that is still within the range of 3.5, 375. But now more and more people are thinking that potentially this one can lower and lower. So that's what called Fed dot. So if you do dot plots, so you can actually see the Federal Reserve himself. They have this economic summary, and they publish it themselves as well. So this is their dots. So this is one of the most important charts that you can see in the history. I think they have I don't know how many voting members that they have, but this is their voting based on the members. So you see one person wants lower, one person in 2026 really wants it lower, but most of the voting members in the Federal Reserve, I think they're 12. I don't remember how many there are actually, but so people think between 4 to 2.5. And as you see, more majority of the voting members in Federal Reserve, they're voting somewhere around this area. So as you see, even in the long term, they still think that it's going to stay at around 3%. There's only one member right now they think it's needs to come to 2%. So that's one of the most important charts that people see, and they revise it every meeting. So in this meeting, they might change this one and revise it to this one is actually December 2025. So for today, they're gonna release another one. And if in this one they're gonna come and change the direction a little bit, so um, market will impact. But it seems that the market is really not. The Federal Reserve doesn't really want to. Uh, Let me see if you have a better chart. Yeah, so see, as you see here is the way that is this dot plot is showing, that's very important. So Fed watch. Yeah, so that's That's something that you need to know. And again, this data is also available at FedWatch tool, the CME group. So you can just search CME group FedWatch tool. So, they show you what people think, in April 2027, still a lot of people think we are staying around, which seems really high. Like, compared to the rest of the world, if US interest rate is so high, and that causes, a slow, progress in some sectors. The real estate is definitely getting impacted because all the mortgages and all the construction mortgages and everything. Um, and it makes US dollar very strong compared to other currencies because people usually borrow from low interest rates and put it into the high interest rates. They call it carryover trades. So right now, what you can do if you have access to Canadian dollar at low interest rate because the rates in Canada is lower, you can borrow $10 million from Canadian accounts and put it into the US account, and then you can make about 2% difference in the interest rate. So they call them carryover. So it's a good, a lot of people will do that. They've done it for, about 20 years for Japanese yen because in Japan, the interest rates are really low and then the US is high. So you can withdraw the money from Japan and then you can deposit it into the US, cash secured, accounts and GICs and make money from the interest rate. The risk for you is the exchange rate. If the exchange rate changes, then you're exposed to because you have to cover and sell in USD and pay your back Japanese yen. Right now, for example, in Europe, Swiss franc is almost zero interest rate. So if you have access to Swiss franc, you can borrow as much as possible. If you have, for example, property and everything, you can just borrow Swiss franc and then you deposit it into the US account and get money. And then to secure yourself, so as a stop loss or as a hedge, people buy interest rate swaps. So by buying interest rate swaps, you make sure that if the exchange rate changes and then you have to bring back the Swiss franc, then you hedge your risk over there. Yeah, it's called carry trade. So the futures funded account is coming up. We are just getting the data for the futures. So the future data charting and funded account is coming very soon, maybe in the next few months, max. So Amandeep, for the funded account, you need to either buy it from Trading Terminal or Das Trader. Das Trader obviously is better but more expensive, but you can't really have it on Quest Trade platform because we have to monitor and track your trades and we have to see your risk management. Any other question, guys, about
Okay. I don't see any questions.
Pretty good. Peter, you was right about Tesla, man. You could breathe now. I was holding this tray for you.
Look at that. See?
And this is going to be your fault if it didn't work out, but it dropped pretty nice here back to the lows.
Well, now you're welcome. You owe me a scotch.
I do.
Got back to low of day.
So Wagmar is asking, when do you add to your trade? You always add to your trade in a winning trade. So when the trade goes into your direction, like let me, for example, I bring my chart again. So this trade that I did on Tesla, so when you go long and you see a nice breakout, you always add to your winning position. You bring your average higher, but if you have confirmation that this goes to higher prices, you can actually make money when it goes into the higher direction. You always add to your winning position. You're not adding to your losing position. Any other question, guys? And how many shares? You can always double your position. So that's one thing that you can do is you can double your position.
Yeah, I usually add, well, I usually add to a limit. So what I do is I pick an area on the chart where I think a reasonable stop loss would be, and then I have a hotkey configured where I hit it and it'll calculate how many shares I can get to get my new average price at that level, and then it'll give me however many shares. So it's never a fixed amount, right? Like let's say I had 200 shares to start, I may get like 37 more shares, or I may get, 112. It depends on where I put that new level to calculate what my new average stop price. So I know, Andrew, I don't think you do it that programmatically. And there's no right or wrong. It's just different ways of approaching it.
Yeah. So Pete is asking, hey Andrew, what do you think about the guy Tony from Scarface Trade? So reality is I don't know. I don't really follow a lot of traders on YouTube. So there's a lot of obviously a scam, around. There's also really, really good traders out there that you learn from it. Like I personally learned from a lot of people on YouTube. Ross Cameron was one of them. So he's a good trader and he trades penny stock. I learned a lot of basics from him. Um, but also there's a lot of new people that they come, but you don't know. But if someone is a scam or not, at the end of the day, if they can show you in real time trade, if you can see their screen, you can see the thought process, you can easily say if it's real or not. If someone knows what they're talking about, so you can easily say. You don't really need a secret information about someone. Like Carlos is making a trade every single day in front of you in chat room. Like in our community, everybody's saying, you can see my screen in real time, my losses and my wins. You can say if this guy knows what they're talking about or not. But at the end of the day, you also shouldn't worship someone so much that you get disappointed if that person doesn't share one of their losses that they have. It's you take a grain of salt in every people. Always have a healthy level of skepticism about everybody, including us. But try to build and learn as much as possible, but don't really take someone so up and then they get disappointed. So um, I mean, after pandemic, we saw a huge boom of people on YouTube and content creators and TikTok traders and everything. So it was because just the information. Like 10 years ago when we started this, there was no real information about any of this. Even the big channels like Warrior Trading and Ross Cameron didn't use VWAP and a lot of things. So we had to really figure out a lot of it by ourselves. And obviously, we and other people started posting more and more material. And then the education in trading became such a commodity that you can find it so cheap everywhere. And essentially, you really don't need to pay for education. You might need for mentorship and companionship. So, for example, BBT is not really an education company. It's more like a community that by being around other traders and learning and sharing knowledge, you grow. Or it doesn't need to be even paid. Like BBT, you don't need to be here. Even the community that we are having here in YouTube is amazing. And just that might be enough. If you have a question in YouTube, you can just people answer that quickly for you. And um, So companionship, I think companionship, and people really charge money, and including they're charging money, but because there are costs associated with running a company and even running a YouTube channel. So obviously, you might not value our time, but we value our time. So if Carlos and Peter are coming here for a couple of hours in the morning, they deserve to get some payment. And if some people think it's not worth it, then they don't have to do it. And same as any other community, I respect anybody who produce content and try to monetize that content or education community somehow. Like the cost of you wouldn't believe it, but the cost of my servers for trading terminal and variable trader platform is $12,000 a month. $12,000 a month. So there are really big costs associated with running a community, mentorship class, course, and everything. So and as you try to add more value, obviously you have to pay the content creators. So I have to motivate, Gary and Paris and other people to create really good content for us. And they might want to have mentorship just because enjoying it. It's a lot of rich and successful people are having programs of mentorship, support, incubators. yes, they make money out of it, but they also enjoy doing it.
Yeah, agree on all points.
I mean, there are some issues with every community as well. Like, for example, Peter is an issue in the community who doesn't like a Lamborghini. Like, how can I?
You got to take the good with
I
the
know.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. Live with it. Learn to deal with it.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
not that I don't like them. I just think there's better options, and you don't want to acknowledge that.
no, like for example, Peter, you
We-
don't say that about your wife. You're not saying that, oh, my wife is not bad, but there are better wives out there. So, you just love your wife, and that's how it.
This comparison is gonna get us in trouble here.
Wow, I no comment. Absolutely no comment on that one. That's danger zone.
In other words,
Danger
you
with
like what you
Robert.
like. You like this, you like
Yeah.
that. Might not be the best, but it's what you like.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I like. Great
But-
comparison, Andrew. Actually, it's a good one.
But
It's a real good one.
But it's the best for you. There you
You're
go.
very
If that
joking.
Lambo-
All right, so Agni is asking a question about learning about DAS trade and funded account. So we have a lot of videos on DAS. So what you can do on DAS, you can sign up to DAS. Even they have 14 days free trial. You can familiarize yourself here. Again, you don't need to pay for it. Just go to DAS website, download it, 14 days free trial, and then learn yourself familiarize. It's not really that hard. It's very simple. It's like Atari, like it's very simple. It's like really simple platform. Just put your indicator in there, practice, and then when you're ready, purchase the DAS funded account. And even on the DAS funded account, you have access to simulator as well. So you can actually get that. All right, guys, I gotta go. I have a meeting. I don't know if you want to continue because we're gonna get back here over 2 hours. Maybe we can cut this off and we can
Yeah,
go back. Yeah.
we'll finish it up here, friends. Thank you so much, guys, everybody, for joining on YouTube. Again, we'll be back. Let me put the link here again. We'll be back later at 1:50 live here for us on YouTube. So take care, guys. We'll see you guys a little bit later.
God bless you guys. Cheers.
Trade smart, everybody.
Cheers.